Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good. Happy Saturday.
Yeah.
I have been scrambling a little bit today. I feel like I say that every Saturday. I'm gonna quit saying that. I think I'm just gonna start saying you know, I'm here. I made it.
Right.
Stuck the landing. um. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Embarkation Day, preparing for Embarkation Day, what to expect on Embarkation Day, and of course the excitement of Embarkation Day today. So that's going to be we're Embarkation Nation, so it's always a fun topic for us because it means like fun, right? And exciting, but
Yep.
it can be stressful, especially if things don't, go according to plan. So let's see, we have Orange Cone Vlog, Ross. I asked you in the chat, but I hope you have a safe flight back home. But how did you enjoy being in Austin? I saw today you had a live stream, a silent live stream on the boat, on a boat on the wasn't Lake Travis, but I wanted to hear how that went, and it looked like a lot of fun. It looked like something I wish I was doing today. Hey, Danny D, the spectacular supporter. I hope you're doing well.
Hey.
Hey, Journeys with June and Brady. I hope you're doing well, staying safe, staying warm. So, how's your week been, Tony?
Oh, it was good. So far so good. Just any day away from work is good.
Exactly.
Got to do a
Exactly.
little work on the pool tomorrow. Try to get it ready for the winter. Of course, we're a little late getting ready, but also got to do a dive class tomorrow.
Okay, cool, cool. We have Disney on Ice tomorrow, and I got
Oh,
the VIP meet and greet passes to meet Moana and Mickey Mouse. So I'm looking. I think I'm more excited than Chloe is. She knows it's happening, but I think once we're there, she'll be a little more excited. But she was I was telling her today, I'm like, you get to meet Mickey Mouse tomorrow, and she's like, meet Mickey Mouse? I'm like, yeah, and she's like, okay. And then she was like, is Paw Patrol going to be there? But no, they're not. And then I saw that like Paw Patrol Live is like kind of down the road, a couple hours away next weekend. And I'm like, maybe I should have got those tickets instead. They were probably cheaper. Hey, Scratch and Pete, I hope you're doing well. Any good Scratch tickets lately? I know you always, I know on Tuesdays, I always catch you hashtag replay because I usually have a meeting at the time that you come on live for Tuesdays. But I know when I'm watching, I'm like, man, I wish I had a couple of scratch offs to go along with him right here. And welcome in, Emily. She
Emily.
said hello. My niece, I saw my niece today. She's a month old. Picked her own head. Oh my gosh, she picked her head up. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, that's always cool when they start doing those cool things, like when they start rolling over, lifting their head up. Just you start noticing their eyes coming into more focus, and they start noticing when they're seeing colors, and I mean it's really fun. I'm excited to hear about it, Emily. I know we'll text back and forth, but that's really exciting.
Cool.
So we have an embarkation day coming up. Um, we're going to be on the Jubilee in what, like 55 days or something, like about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was telling Andrew today, I said, I think while I have some time, while I have some holiday time off, I have next weekend, and then I have, over Thanksgiving weekend. I think I'm going to go ahead and start packing, at least Chloe, um, and start getting her ready to for the cruise. That way, I can just go ahead and set hers in the closet. I know it's ready to go. She's probably not going to wear any of that stuff between now and then. So we could go ahead and start packing. But I was also like, hey, I need to start printing off things. I need to start getting ready.
Mhm.
So I guess kind of I wanted to kind of see like when you're preparing for embarkation day. I mean, like I said, we're about 6 weeks out. Like what are some of the things you start doing now to get ready for the day? Oh, I'm gonna welcome in Will G. Hey, my friend, I hope you're doing
Hey,
well.
well.
And hello, Antoinette at Fun. I hope you're doing well. I
Okay.
heard you are going on the Sea Lake Journey cruise. That's exciting. That's going to be a good group cruise. And so yeah, so what are some of the things you start kind of like at this point now start to get ready for embarkation day?
Well, for one, we got, of course, about 90 days out. We make sure that it's, especially with if some people are tuning in for the first time, and this may be their first cruise. You got to make sure well before the 90-day cutoff time that our cruise is actually paid off. Because what some people may or may not know is that after 90 days, if you don't have it paid off, you lose your slot.
That's true, and I saw in the Jubilee Facebook group for our exact sailing on December 30th that there was a family who had booked their rooms, and the sister-in-law or mother-in-law, somebody didn't pay off their balance, and now they don't have a room. Carnival, after that 90 days, they delete that booking. What they do with the refunds and stuff, that's going to be up to Carnival and travel insurance and all that. But yeah, I saw that. So it does happen. I know for us, it may seem like, oh, no, I made sure it's paid, but it's easy to kind of pass those dates by, I put them in my calendar, and then I give me a week buffer just in case. So
yeah, we usually haven't paid off well before then, but we like to go back in and check just to make sure that we didn't overlook something.
Yes,
and then,
I was going to say too, like when you're booking your cruise, they give you you can pay it all off at once. You can just pay the deposit and then make payments. And then they kind of give you, I think it's like Aspire or Affirm or something like that, an option to pay it out where they'll take it out of your bank account monthly. Andrew and I tried that because we wanted to see what it would look like on the travel agent end. And so we did that with our 2026 payment plan. And so it's going to come out of my bank account. I set that all up, but it shows paid in full on that end. So like I'm making payment to that company, that third party company, but on the travel agent end and Carnival's end, it already shows paid in full, which that is an option for those who maybe need to pay their cruise out past the time. Let's say like you get a good deal and you're like 6 months out, that is an option. I don't know if anybody knows that. And we're cruising on the Jubilee to Costa Maya, Honduras, and Cozumel. And okay, I think we're caught up with chat.
Okay. Yeah, and then we also start making sure that going over our hotel reservations to make sure they're confirmed, as well as any flights and stuff that we may have arranged for. Make sure that because of the time of year that we're going on this one, we're kind of have a backup plan that if it looks like the airports are going to be snowed in or iced in or whatever, if we've got time off of work for an extra day or so to where we could start driving down. So we're also looking at, well, if we have to drive down, will the place that we stay at let us leave our vehicle there, or do we need to arrange parking somewhere else? If we do that, how are we getting there to the port and all that stuff? So it's some of those last minute deals that sometimes you don't think about, especially new cruisers may not think about.
That's very true. And if you're flying, I know for example, Galveston and Port Canaveral, they're not right there at the cruise terminal. Like the airport is not close. So like for Houston, it's like about a 45-minute to an hour, can be even more depending on traffic and construction drive. And Port Canaveral as well. So like when we were looking at the hotel for Port Canaveral, because we're not familiar with that port, we are looking for a hotel that provides like airport shuttle pickup and then also offers cruise shuttle drop off, so it may cost me $10 to $20 per person, maybe even more for the airport. But to me, it'd be worth it because Uber, I think I was sharing the rates for the taxis and stuff for at the Jubilee terminal. They're upwards of like $140, for a taxi ride, somewhere a little more. So that was kind of expensive to me. So I think maybe definitely when you're planning for your embarkation day, looking at that hotel and maybe even picking up the phone and just saying, or call your travel agent and they can do it. hey, do you have like port or airport shuttle, and maybe can
Yeah.
arrange that. We've had a lot of new people join us. Um, Fitness Motivation, I hope you're doing well. Call Me
Okay.
B, I hope you're doing well.
Hi.
Z's Gaming Channel and Home Theater Channel, I hope you're doing well, Z. Welcome to our late night. Flights, hotel, and Uber come with added costs. Yes, they do, and
Yep.
they can be kind of surprisingly expensive if you haven't planned. 140 is costly to me too. Yeah, sometimes that's like a whole hotel stay. I mean,
Yeah.
depending on which hotel you're at. Galveston's a little bit more. Galveston's a little expensive, but Texas City's cheaper. But yeah, so we're making sure, we're about this time. We're making sure our hotel reservations are done. We have a flight or a way to the port, and we have paid off our cruise.
Yeah. And then, like, if you're gonna drive, somebody that may be driving to Galveston for the first time, you've really got to give yourself some extra time for that drive through Houston, because we've had some people actually miss the ship because they decided to drive down there and got stuck in traffic in the Houston traffic, and they, took them 4 hours just to get across to Houston, which they didn't plan for.
Yes, and I know of one individual who's in our chat. He he lives in Texas, so he's driven down the day up. I think if you know the area, your drive, you've got those preparations in place. I say, yeah, okay, but for me, it gives me anxiety. It gives me anxiety even being 3.5 hours from Galveston, because I'm like, what if we
Right.
blow a tire? What if, I have like all these what ifs in my head. So what if we get in a wreck? What if, of course, if we get in a wreck, I think the cruise is kind of secondary at that point. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just things to consider. And then Texas, we love our construction, and we love to have lots of construction, especially down like, I-45, 35. We love to have those. So I definitely would, if you're driving it, just make sure you map it out and check the local areas just to see if there's like traffic updates. I know Jeremy and Cheryl do a great job of providing updates on like 45 and the the drive to Houston for Galveston ports. But like if I'm traveling to Port Canaveral or Miami, I don't know that. And so that's just definitely some research to do. Hey Paul, I hope you're doing amazing. Thank you for sharing us out tonight. I really appreciate you. And for those of you who may not know, PSV Odyssey on YouTube has a Facebook page, just like the TV Guide of YouTube, and he shares out our lives. Oh, V, you're healing from surgery. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling well.
Yeah.
So 6 hours before, yes. How are you doing a convoy of cruisers that follow each other to port? So are you doing a convoy of cruisers that follow each other to port? I think you could if you all live in the same area. Like if you're like having a family, maybe group cruise, and you all live in the area. Like Tony and Lisa and Andrew and I, we live about 12 hours from each other. So we will not be doing a convoy to the cruise port. But we do try to make arrangements before the cruise to make sure we're all there. But I think if you know the group you're going with, or like, how like they just had the booze cruise this week, which I've had FOMO on not being on this week. I think if you're meeting with everybody and you're kind of staying at the same hotel, maybe even, near the airport or something, maybe you could definitely arrange that. Or, maybe like group transportation. I know Bruce is really great about that, especially if he's your group cruise coordinator. Bruce from Ocean to Ocean Travel, so, and that's definitely stuff your travel agent can arrange.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to come from the south, and Lisa and Tony are going to come from the north.
We were actually flying in the morning of, and with it being such a major holiday and construction, we went ahead and pushed it back. We're going in the day before and got a hotel in Galveston. So
I know you were telling when you first were telling me that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, last time we cruised out of Galveston, we flew in and had somebody meet us at the airport, and they knew the area and they got us there in plenty of time. We were actually coming in at like 7:30 in the morning, but I was still like, I just had a bad feeling about it. So we moved it and we got a hotel right across the street from Walmart so we can go get our sodas before we get on the ship.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of flying in the day of, and that's mainly because normally the flights that we have to take is you have to fly one or two other airports, which means you're depending on layovers, and I don't necessarily like that. So let's get there the day before. That way, if there's a delay or something like that, that gives us some time to work with that delay.
Because you never know with weather, weather. I mean, we're flying in December, January, so we in Corpus Christi do not get snow and ice typically, but y'all may.
We do. It's supposed to be a bad winter this year, so really cold and wet. So
yes, and then too, you just never know when the flights are just gonna cancel or change. I know for us, when we were flying back from Disney last year, we had those flights booked 6 months out, and then 4 or 5 hours before our flight, 2 hours before the shuttle was coming to pick us up from the hotel, I got a text that, the flight was canceled and they were booking us on the next day. So I had to scramble, call our shuttle because I'd already paid for that, and then get with the Disney resort. And thankfully they allowed us to stay in the same room and at the same rate. But, we explained to them what could have happened. But yeah, it was. We
were kind of thinking if the flight is canceled because it's at 6 a.m, I think the day before.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, we can try to drive it. I know you guys have driven down in the snow and ice a time or two, so it gives us a full 24 to get there.
It was when the Super Bowl was in Arlington it was at the new Cowboy Stadium at the time, and that weekend we booked a cruise to get out of town because we didn't want to deal with the Super Bowl stuff, and we drove down on ice all the way to Houston. I've never been so stressed. We'll see, it was in 20. I may have just been over 21. I remember getting to the hotel and just being I'm just getting a drink. I was just probably just over 21, but it was stressful for me. My dad was just like, you got this. And I didn't feel, the whole way down 45, I saw there was buses chartered bringing people to the Super Bowl, and I saw one go off in the ditch. And after that, I was just a mess. And it was right before we got onto 45. We were taking the back roads, 287 and all that. And it was just, I was stressed. So, and luckily we had booked, we were staying at a hotel. It was the day before. I couldn't imagine waking up and seeing the ice and trying to drive down that day. Cause when you're driving in ice like that, you're not going very fast. I mean, so it drove us only 5 hours, took us 10. And then 2 hurricanes. I mean, us in our area, we have to worry about tropical storms, flooding, all that. Okay. So we've gotten our arrangements for the hotel. Now it's cruise day. What are some of the things that you make sure you have in your carry-on? Maybe you already printed off.
Oh, well, I'll, the travel, any kind of traveling documents as far as, the boarding passes and stuff like that.
Actually, if we've booked excursions or on this, we have the cooking classes and stuff. I print everything, so I'll walk in with
at least screenshot.
Yeah, just make sure you make it all the way down with it, because one of the trips I went through, I printed off an extra copy, and then I left the boarding passes at home somehow. I had everything else but no boarding passes, so we had to sweet talk the lady at the hotel into letting us log into her network and print them off. So
yeah, and then on the boarding passes, Those are the ones that are in color, correct? That we try to do in color.
No,
The
that's
luggage
your
tags.
Luggage tags. Luggage tags. That's what it is. Yeah, we try to do the luggage tags in color because we know that helps them when it comes to sorting the luggage. The different color tags help them identify which floor it goes to without having to sit there and try to read a black and white printed off thing. They can just look at the color. Okay, we know this goes to this floor, and they can separate them a little quicker.
Yeah, and the first couple of cruises, I didn't realize that, so I just had black and white printer and didn't worry about it. And then I started, people started talking about that's why they were different colors. I thought it was like kind of like your level, whether you were blue card or red card or platinum, diamond, whatever. I thought it had to do with that, and they're like, no, it has to do with what floor, so they can get your luggage to you faster. Well, I definitely want my luggage faster, so I'm gonna do what I can to make it easier for them.
Exactly. And so y'all are platinum, so y'all get to check in like 16 days before, whereas us gold, blue, red, and gold individuals get to check in 14 days before. And so that boarding time makes a difference too. Having that 10 a.m., 11, I think it's like 10:15 to, or 10 to 10:30, whatever port you're at, they have different times. I know for us, we watched Island Time to do the trick, where because it goes based on midnight Eastern time. So like even if you're Central Standard Time like us, like you can, check in at 11, that 14 days out. I know that's what I do. So
yeah, I set an alarm for 10:30, so I get logged on in plenty of time.
I do
then
too.
I'm ready to go at 11.
I do too. And then I make arrangements to make sure I'm at the cruise port at that time. So I just don't even want to play with like I know you can show up later, but I just don't want to. I'll get into that in a minute, but yes. Hey Sharon, Cruising Scene. I wanted to say I watched like 4 of your videos yesterday. I watched your 80s deck party, I watched your arcade on the breeze, and I watched your husband, I'm gonna say Gary, singing Margaritaville, and he did such a good job. He didn't look nervous. He like had the crowd singing with him. That was so fun. I can't wait to cruise with y'all someday. Like y'all are such a whole vibe. I feel like maybe far from the cruise port and the airport, a B&B maybe. Yeah, like I haven't looked at I'm not really into the Airbnbs. I've looked at them a couple times. I think it's definitely something to consider. I've always gotten a pretty good hotel rate. Of course, I've got a pretty good status with Expedia, so I get a pretty good rate. But I can even beat Andrew's travel agent rates on a lot of things with my loyalty status with them. But yeah, definitely Airbnb if you have that option. I saw. Hello, Susanna. Morgan, proud single mom. Sorry, I butchered your name there. I'm so sorry. But hey, welcome in. I love your picture.
Hey, Susan.
Hey, Sherry. I hope you're doing well. Sherry and Darian from Magnificent Germany with Darian had a live yesterday of their whole trip on the celebration. And it was really interesting to me to hear like their thoughts because they've done a lot of Royal and stuff. And they're going to do another episode with comparison with Royal and Carnival of the Excel class and Oasis class. But I thought it was interesting how they kept talking, like mentioning the whole time, like how many food options there are on the Excel class, the free food options. Like they did not go hungry. Let's see, you just Gary.
One of the things.
I always ask because because in Canada we don't have loyalty perks like you do in the USA. Yep. So then I would definitely look at Airbnb, maybe figure out the cost, if everybody's getting their own room and split that. That's definitely, I've looked at that for Disney. There's some really cool themed ones at Disney, like Star Wars and just different themes, Harry Potter. And Andrew and I have looked at maybe doing like a family thing. And, I think one of the Airbnbs has like 9 rooms. And we're like, man, that's, some of his family, some of my family, we could all go into.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we've got our boarding documents. We made sure we printed our. I know Galveston has an issue with doing like your cell phone. Like I know we're in this day and age with digital, but Galveston to me still has a hard time. They need the paper copy of your boarding pass. Um, they do. So I always make sure that's printed. I make sure before I even get in the car to drive or fly to the port, I make sure Andrew and I both make sure we've laid eyes on our passports and our birth certificates. Like it's like before we've locked the door, Chloe's in the car, mounds of luggage behind us, and it's like we both sit there, open the backpack, and like lay eyes on the passports and birth certificate. Yeah, well, Chloe has a passport too, but I bring her birth certificate just in case. And because it shows like my last name's different, and so it just shows, like we're both her parents. We bring that. We bring, I print extra luggage tags and stick them inside the bag. Like those are sometimes where I put the black and white ones, just in case. I buy the clocks also giving away those clear plastic with the cable, the stainless steel cable. I don't do it until like we're headed to the port, but I put our color printed luggage tags in there. But I also sometimes stick a black and white one into the luggage just in case, that falls off and they open the luggage, they can know it's mine. Because my luck, it would be mine. Andrew would have all his clothes, Chloe would have her clothes, and I would be like, hey, look, I'm in the same shirt all week. And then Bill would make comments. But yeah, I know Galveston does not do the digital stuff very well. So we just make sure we have everything printed. And then I also print off, like if I've bought water or if I've bought the classes and stuff, just because I'm like, hey, I have had Carnival not deliver strawberries. Like I bought the chocolate covered strawberries and something, and they didn't deliver it one day. And I was like, I have here my order. And I was able to pull it out and give them the order number. Like I ordered it. I paid for it.
Yeah, we were in Mexican Riviera, I think it was, and I had ordered that Reef Safe suntan lotion and didn't get it. I mean, it wasn't that expensive. It was just, hey, I paid for it, either if you have it, I'd like it. If not, give me some onboard credit, for the cost of the lotion. I'm not asking for $100 because they didn't deliver it, but yeah, it's good to have those extra. And I have all the rules, and I mean every single page that's in their little policy is in my book, and like I said, I usually have at least 2 copies of it. So
yes,
now I double and triple check the boarding passes as well. So
yes, and if you're and then too, another thing to do is to make sure that to make your check-in process easier, make sure your first and last name match on the boarding pass to your photo identification, your passport, and your birth certificate, or you have documentation like a divorce decree or marriage license or proper documentation where you maybe had a name change or something. That's why we always bring Chloe's. We bring her passport, which her photo matches her, but that's why we bring her birth certificate as well, just in case they're like, are you her parents? Because my last name is different than hers. So if they ever have any questions, I can be like, no, she is my mom. I mean, she's my mom. I am her mom. And, here's that, I mean, nobody wants me to start busting out any C-section scars, like just joking, Tony. But, just to make it easier and faster for us. And packing with kids, yes, there's so many extra things too. And like if you maybe you're in a situation where both parents aren't together, I would make sure to get like a notarized note, or follow Carnival or whatever cruise line you're going on. But I would also get some kind of statement or whatever proper documentation that the cruise line wants of like that you're able to travel with that child outside of the country and state and whatever. There are some rules and regulations on that. I am not the expert in that, so I'm going to say definitely consult with the cruise line and the other parent of the child or parents of the child and come up with the best case scenario for that.
Yeah.
I know a month. I know. I can't believe that baby's a month already. That's the quickest way to tell time is like a kid's ages. Like I'm planning Chloe's 4th birthday party, and I'm like, no. I mean, no, 4, no. And I know it's even. I mean, like I know when she's a baby, it would be like, oh, she's 6 weeks old, and I couldn't believe it. Has anyone not left Carnival messages to inform them of the subpar service? I always say if they don't know how can they fix it. Um,
Right.
I I've done the surveys. I haven't really had. I mean, I guess I've been very lucky. I haven't received too bad of service, or if I have, I feel like I've been able to justify it. Like, I mean, dining, we had a full sailing, and it was slow, but I mean, I've been able to kind of reason with it. I haven't had anybody who was just plain rude to me or
Right.
something where I couldn't justify why. I mean, do I get irritated? Yeah. Do I not like it when my food's perfect? Yeah. But at the same time, I get that down the road too. And I guarantee you down the road, I get not as friendly service. um, as I do on the Carnival ship. So I think
Right.
I've been pretty blessed, but I would say definitely if you're having a situation, I would definitely well, one, I would try to correct it right then, not wait till you get, off the ship and then if it's bad enough, I would just try to correct it right then, maybe with the, proper can I just
Customer service. Go down to the
customer
service desk and
service
talk to
or
them.
And
something
just
of
make
that
sure
sort.
too that when you go to them, go with a level head. I know you're angry, you're upset with whatever the situation is, but if you go down and start screaming and yelling at the customer service, you'll just, was it they say, you attract more bees
Five.
with more flies with honey.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
realize it's not the customer service person's responsibility. Um, or they're not the one who did it to you if it was a situation, and just keep a level head about yourself and talk to them.
Oh,
The way you would want to be talked to really
Mhm.
is really important. And I've done
she
the
was
surveys too and things too on the excursions. If you booked an excursion through Carnival, definitely make sure that you comment on that too. If it was a good event or if it was a bad event. I know I was in Nassau and had a really horrible experience. And I put it on the survey when I got back, because there was nobody that I felt there that I could talk to about it. I just picked up my stuff and left the area and just, the waiter at dinner asked, "How was your day?" And I lost it and broke down. He's like, "Oh my gosh, make sure you report this and everything." And so I did on the survey. I talked about how bad everything was at the event that I went to. So, and the surveys come about a week or two, isn't it, Jen, after you travel? So
yeah.
that way, you have time to get back from your destination and it's emailed. Generally, whose ever name it's booked under. So, Sherry, if you booked it, it should come to you. But if you booked someone else, it's booked under someone else's name, it will come to them. My
Sh-
understanding, because I don't think you get them anymore since they're under my name mostly.
Yeah, I haven't. I know you have, but I never have.
Yeah.
It could be about 2 weeks out, Sherry. You might receive it this week, or check your spam folder. I know mine's been in the spam folder.
Yeah.
And B was talking about um, the paper versus electronic. I know, like at the end of the pandemic, um, they had the Verify system where you would upload all your documents, on a like an app, and you would have to do your driver's license and all your stuff. Um, and even Galveston, then we had to show them where we had the check mark for verify fly, but we still had to show them all. The lady we had still had to show all our documents and our paper documents and stuff. And so it was like a, a congestion. I would say that I feel like Galveston's terminal. It depends on which terminal you get, because I feel like that first one that usually the Vista is on is a little more organized than the second one that the Dream is on. I don't know why. I think it could be the layout of the buildings, honestly. But I feel like my experience when I go out of the one with the building the Vista normally travels out of is so much smoother than the one where the Dream and the Breeze sometimes go out of. Could be just me, but I feel it could be just the building layout too. But I feel like it's, but yeah, it's like they're, but they're real quick with the facial recognition and stuff. But and I love that. But I'm like, hey, can we get an e check in, and you just yep, that's her, and let's go.
And that's the one thing that I really like about having the, that I would, and especially the new cruisers, I would encourage that if you don't have a passport, get one, because especially if you're at different ports. Now, Galveston, I don't know if their facial recognition is as good as some of the other places, but when we went out of Miami, they scanned our passport, took our picture, and then when we got off the cruise, or when we were disembarking, we were walking out waiting to show the passport, and they're just like, keep going, keep going. No, you're good, you're good. And we're just like, well, did you check with anybody? Nope, no, you're good. The facial recognition, already checked you through. Okay, cool. I mean, no stopping at customs, letting them inspect, it was awesome. It was the best.
That's a demarcation topic. That's, but yeah, we had that same, in Galveston. It was pretty smooth. Yes, I know. It seems like she was just 2. She'll be 4 in January, and if you watch some of our older videos, like where she's at the pumpkin farm and stuff, like she's about 18 months old there, just not even 2. The Disney vlogs is right before her, like the week before her 2nd birthday. So yeah, goes by fast. Never receive a survey, did receive one out of the casino. Hey, Bud Files, I hope you're doing well. I hope you gave the casino a review. Like, do they need to pay out more? Yes, I would say the same thing. They need to pay out more and be, and even too, like, even if I'm not winning, but if I walk in and I hear the bells and they're calling like $5,000 winner here, and oh goodness, this person over here just won $1,800, and at least I'm like feeling the vibe and the excitement. But I think Bill was just saying that he hasn't heard like any major winnings called over the intercom or anything. So so I'm sorry, I'm a little all over the place, and I promised that I took notes, but back to. So we've got all of our we're checked in. We're 14 to 16 days out. We've got all of our documents printed, our luggage tags, our boarding passes. We made sure we have all of our legal documents required by the cruise line. We've got our hotel and our air arrangements. Okay, so we've gotten here. It's the day of embarkation day. What do you and Lisa do first?
Oh, well, what are you talking about? Like once we get there,
you can even talk about the morning of if you want, because that's where I'm gonna talk about how I am in the morning.
Morning of, we're usually scrambling around trying to make sure everything's still there. I mean, even though we've checked everything at the house before we left, and we know we got everything. It's like you got to make sure again one last time before you head out to the port. Check out of the hotel, make sure our ride's there on time, and then head on to the port. Make sure that we know which luggage that we're going to keep.
Is carry on.
Is what we're going to carry on and keep with us, and which luggage that we're going to go ahead and give the porters, because even though you would think the luggage, there was no way that they're going to lose the luggage. It's not necessarily lose it, but maybe misplace it, and it may take you a couple of, I've never had the problem, but when it comes to medications that you have to have and stuff like that, we're not going to chance it. We're going to make sure that we keep that with us, and then give everything else to the porters to put on the ship for us.
I still overpack, so there's no way I can shuffle 2 large suitcases, a small suitcase, a laptop, and all that information, all that equipment and stuff. And try to get through with the crowd. So we give everything except for I'll have a carry-on with all the medication, our cameras or jewelry, anything like that that's important. And then I always usually take a laptop with me. And so the laptop, since it's on top of the carry-on suitcase, that's where I store my our passports and all the documents and everything. So it's just like 2 zippers and I've got what we need. Do make sure that you have, as you're going through the line, you have to have your own boarding pass and passport. You can't have someone else, here, Tony, carry this for me while I'm doing this, and we might, just before we get up there, hey, hold this while I shuffle this around. But when you're actually going through the line, you have to have your own information, your own boarding pass, or they'll be like, no, you have to have your own. So, get that and then come back up to us or something. We've actually seen people turned away because they weren't carrying their own. But yeah, the porters, when you leave the luggage with them, it's just kind of, I've heard people say they do a flat 20. Some people say I do $5 a bag. I do $10 a bag. If you want to tip the porters, you certainly can. If you choose not to, that's okay too. I know in some countries they don't expect tips and everything like that. So just kind of be familiar with where you're at and what their local customs and things are as well. But we usually do probably about $5 a bag to the porter who's taking it, because it's worth that to me to not have to fight with it to get it through. Yeah. Like I said, I always have the rolling carry-on with a laptop on it, and we've done fine with that. It helps to hold one of the seats when we do get to Guy's Burger. So
yes. So morning of, I am now Monday through Friday struggle to get up by 8 to clock in time, but Embarkation Day, 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm your girl. Doesn't matter if I went to bed at 1. I'm ready. I just get so anxious and so excited. Andrew's like throwing pillows at me, but I'm like zip, 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 zip in my backpack. I've got one of those Rick Steve. Andrew calls it a world traveler bag. If you ever meet us in person and he's yelling at me about my world traveler bag, I've got this Rick Steve's like, world travel backpack, and it's got a bazillion zippers and pockets, and it is the greatest thing ever. But anyways, he hates it. But I'm opening the backpack and I'm making sure, again, I'm double checking our documents, like these medication, like whatever schedules we have on our itinerary. If we're traveling with guests, I'm like making sure if I printed off any of their stuff, like my mom, Lisa and Tony, I'm making sure I have that easily to grab. I also put like a bathing suit and a change of clothes in my backpack, just in case they do lose my luggage, or if it doesn't come until like 10 o'clock that night. If I never do get in the pool the first day, but if I wanted to, I have it. And also it kind of just makes it, a little, just a little more peace of mind for me. I do a, like one of those like plastic reusable grocery tote bags. I put our 12 packs of sodas in that, just in case a can breaks or something. It's not going all over the place. I hate, and Galveston will open up the boxes. Like they will open the end of the box and like check that it's all cans or whatever you're bringing, and to make sure you're not sneaking alcohol in. And sometimes they just give you like a little piece of tape, and like trying to carry that onto the ramp and on all around the ship until you get to your room, it's just a nightmare. So I always bring like a reusable bag. I put our sodas in that. I make sure the wine is secure in bubble wrap and with a beach towel. And I take a roll-on luggage for that. So the morning of, I'm usually shifting around. I usually have Chloe's like life jacket, because it's got the 2 arm things. So I slide the wine kind of in that, holds them from clinking. And then I put like a towel and then like whatever little things we might need for the room like that day. And that's usually where I'll put like our medications and stuff. Like Chloe's inhalers and stuff go in my backpack, but like if it's like her sinus medicine or like her like Tylenol or any of those like easy Ziploc bag, throw it in there type things, that's where I put that. And then I like to get up. We stay at the Harbor House in Galveston because I like to get up and watch the ship come in. That's just something I like to do when we stay there. But normally I'm getting breakfast. I try to get ready first because once Chloe's up, it's like wrangling her, trying to get her to eat, then trying to get her dressed. And then Andrew's excited because by this time it's like 9 or 10 o'clock. It's time for us to get to the port. So that's a whole thing. But I'm usually, that's what I'm doing the morning of. 14 days out, I was getting excited. I thought you booked a Thanksgiving cruise. I've looked. And I have 4 days off. I've looked. Dot your I's and cross your T's one more time. Yes. Started using air tags for our luggage. And then be asked, do the air tags work on a still ship? That's a good question. Do you take pics of your luggage and its contents? I have. I don't really anymore because now I'm like, if it gets lost, it gets lost. But it's, I mean, I can kind of, usually I'm the one packing except for Andrew's bag, but I kind of know. But yeah, I have before taken pictures of it just to have on my phone, especially when now we've got different colored bags. Like our luggage, we have the Samsonite, and it's kind of like this weird blue color. And so it kind of stands out when we had like just the standard black or navy luggage. Yeah, because everybody has like a black or navy luggage. I went and specifically got like a weird color luggage so mine would stand out. Do you have printed and laminated lists? We are very anxious and missing something when we do our first cruise. When we did our first cruise, I usually do it. I'm still one of those people who has to like handwrite things. I know. But I will make like a list a couple weeks out and I like to scratch it off or put a check mark by it and then just make sure as I'm packing. Anymore now because we've cruised so frequently and we just kind of leave things kind of packed and I know where things are going and like if we pulled it out to watch it, we kind of need to just put it back in its place. But yeah. Funny story, it was raining. We carried our box by hand. Rain soaked it, cans everywhere. Now I know an extra bag or pillowcase. Yes, I'm telling you, those and they're real, like once you're on the ship, it's like one of those reusable bags. You can carry your souvenirs off or put if your bathing suit didn't completely, of course I have like the Ziploc bags now, like the night, like they're big, like reusable Ziploc. But they've got like a fish print on them. Anyways, I digress. I saw Bill's here. But you can put like your wet clothes or something in those reusable totes. And then that way you can just pull it out of the bag and you know what to throw in the washer as soon as you land. Hey, on deck with CB. I hope y'all are doing well. Hi, Bill. How's everything on the Glory? Can't wait to hear about it and see your vlogs. I know yesterday I was watching Bruce live. Lisa and Tony and Bill, he looked like he was living the life. He was in the pool. Just, you could tell he's had a great vacation.
Well, talking about back on the cans, I've actually started taking the rolling suitcase. So we'll have 2 carry-ons and we'll kind of split everything up so that we actually have stuff in the suitcase on the airport. Then pile everything into one of them and we'll take the cans. And since Galveston, one time we went through there, they just ripped the box to shreds. So I'll take that extra rolling suitcase and just put the cans in there loose, open the bag up. They can count how many there are. And then that way I don't have to try to, carry a bag over my shoulder with 2 12-packs in it because I can see that getting real heavy real fast. So I like the rolling bags and, even with the laundry, once we've unpacked and everything, we put our dirty laundry in a suitcase so we can wheel it down the hall instead of trying to drag it like Santa Claus, a big bag down there to do it. So I love the rolling suitcases. The 360 is nice, but as long as it's got at least 2 wheels on it, I'm happy. And I put the cans in that or strap it on top. So with bungee cord, so it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, we we take it's like a little Jeep bag. It's blue, and it's perfect size for Chloe. A little bit bigger than like a child suitcase. It's like the small carry-on luggage. What you'd put on top of the airplane. Uh, and so, anyways, it's where I put the wine in her life jacket, and then I take, because it's got a real long handle. That's where I stick our bag. Andrew's not going to carry it on his shoulder 3 12-packs. He's just not doing it. And so we roll everything in. It just makes it easier when we're putting it all through the belt too. Just lift that bag, slide it over, and then throw the other luggage on. And so that's what we do. It's been really helpful for us. Like, no longer are we carrying and throwing it on our shoulder. Back in our younger days, but we've wised up a little bit since then.
Yeah.
It just takes one time of like carrying a ripped soda box and it dropping all over the gangway of the ship while you're embarking to be like, this ain't happening anymore. For the longest time, I think that happened to us. Andrew's like, just pay the money for the soda drink cards. I don't have to carry the dang sodas. But now that they keep going up a little bit on the price, he's like, okay, well, bring the sodas, but you're putting them in rolling them. I'm not carrying them.
Yeah.
They have a luggage belt that wraps around, and I've seen the luggage sleeves. I've seen where people get their faces printed or like a picture printed on them. Those are cool. We could do like logos or our faces on them. Handwritten list. You're my girl. Yeah, I'm telling you, I may be millennial, but I still like my handwritten lists.
I have a program on my phone that's called it's a notepad. And I have my packing list on that. I have another one that's my grocery list. So it's it's like, oh, hey, we need milk. I go and put it on there. I do the same thing with the luggage or with the the travel and stuff. So that way I don't have another piece of paper to keep up with. I make sure I have my phone, so I'm going to have my list. So.
Yeah, I do too. Well, I do too. And then, like I said, anymore, I'm kind of like Sherry. I leave a lot of my stuff, like especially my shampoos and conditioners and stuff. I just leave those packed. I mean, just make sure that they're still, in good shape, or that they're not empty. And I just leave that in there. I just don't even take it out anymore. Now, at the end of the cruise, I will kind of go through our room bag and pull out like some of the extras. Like if we got like like sometimes I'll throw our drink cups. I know I pulled that out real quick because I had to hide it from Chloe the other day. Like our drink cups like this or something, I'll throw in that bag. And then I just want to pull those out to like wash and stuff. And I'll just recheck everything and then re-ziplock. Because sometimes like, that last night when you're having to pack up the room and you really want to be in the casino at the bar and you're just like, what, just throw it in the luggage. I'll figure out when I get home. And yeah. So when I get home, I have to go back through and re-ziplock everything and make sure it's all organized. Do you pack laundry sheets or buy detergent on board? I have done both. Sometimes if I'm going to Dollar Tree, I'll just grab like the thing with a couple pods and a couple dryer sheets and just throw it in there. I've also paid for it on the ship. I've also just done it laundry when I got home. So, because I'm not cool and platinum or diamond yet to where I can get my laundry done.
Well, there for a while, we started using the actual laundry sheets because instead of the little packages, you can actually buy detergent sheets now. That way you don't have to worry about a liquid. You just get, when you throw your clothes in there, you pull out a sheet or two, throw it in the laundry, it dissolves, and boom. I mean, that way you don't have to worry about liquids leaking.
Right. And that's kind of, I mean, I get the like, like you can get like the pods, I'm talking about, like,
yeah,
in there. I don't really like, even at home, I don't really like the powder laundry soap. That's just me. But
it doesn't seem to dissolve all the time.
Yeah, that's what I've experienced. And so if I have to use it like at a laundromat or on the cruise ship or something, I will. But like they said, the pods can explode too. That's why I only do like a couple. Like actually anymore, I just bring it home, and because I've also decided I don't want to do laundry on the cruise ship. I don't like doing it at home, much less on vacation. And one day, so get this, guys, I am 8 days from being platinum on Carnival, and the Jubilee is a 7-day cruise. So I will have to book another Carnival cruise to experience the platinumness.
All right.
Well, even with that, I'm real picky about what I send out. So, intimates or t-shirts, because Tony actually had a very nice shirt that was, he was measured and it was made for him, and we sent it out to be pressed, just pressed for dinner, and it came back and the sleeves were too short. So I don't know what they did. Some stuff like his t-shirts and stuff, we don't dry them on like normal heat. So we'll hang them up, and we've got those amazing hooks off Amazon, and we'll take and hook the hangers onto those little, he's tall enough, he can hook the magnets on the ceiling. And so you walk into our cabin on laundry day and you got t-shirts hanging up everywhere, and, socks that can't be dried hanging up and everything. So it's just kind of the intimates, they're back in the corner with the t-shirts around it. So they don't have to worry about seeing those when they come in hanging everywhere.
Right, walk in. There's a bunch of underwear on the ceiling.
And we've done,
And that's basically on the ships that don't have a laundry.
Yeah.
If they have a laundry mat, we use the laundry mat. If they don't, and we, like on the 22-day cruise, we had to wash our underwear and stuff like that in the sink instead of sending it out because we didn't want to send it out. And some shirts we washed in the sink. But
our jeans and stuff like that. We sent
out
those out. So
I could see that. Oh, Will G says 7 days until platinum. See, same. I mean, I've got 8, but right there, we're right on the bubble, Will.
What did you say we still had, even after the 22 or after the 30 and the?
We'll still have like another 75 before we hit diamond. So it's not going to be in this lifetime.
75 until you hit diamond?
After all the ones that we have booked. So... Yeah, we're like 10 days into platinum or something. I mean, we're barely into the platinum thing. So.
Well, I will never be at Armstrong's diamond level. Probably because I'm going to start switching cruise lines. But yeah. Hooks tell me more because I've hacked some, but wondered if anything else was better out there. I buy on Amazon that's like 80 pound, it holds up to 80 pounds. I've never put 80 pounds worth of stuff on there, but you can buy them. I actually, this last time I went and bought the little blue, teal, gunmetal blue looking hooks. I just want to be fancy. And I bought Chloe some purple ones, but they're on Amazon. They're like, they can hold up to 80 pounds on some of the ones, and it's like a magnet, and then like the hook just screws in and you stick it up there. Sticks to the wall. So easy.
But on those hooks, we did find that depends. It depends on the type of metal that they use in your room, because we found that the hooks don't necessarily stick real well to the ceiling as well as they do. If you look at your ceiling, sometimes there's a real thick metal bar that runs every now and then. It'll run across your. Man, those hooks will stick to that big time, but you try to stick it to the ceiling and you put more than a couple shirts or whatever on there and it wants to fall off. So it's a lot of it has to do with the type of metal that they're using in the room at the time.
And some of the older ships too, like on door decorations, because we'll use those magnets on that, and actually, so have the hook in there, put it on, and then unscrew the hook part, so it's just the magnet, so you don't have to worry about people coming by and, knocking them off or them grabbing clothes as you're walking through or something. Then we get ready to pull them off, we screw the hook back into it and just bend it if it comes off. Much easier. So
yeah,
but that's one of the things I make sure is packed. I couldn't find them for the first 2 or 3 days when we were on the Luminosa for that 22 days, and I'm panicking because I didn't have my hooks. But he'll come back in with his dive vest, and it's wet, and it's
10 to 15 pounds easy.
Yeah, and we put it up there, and it hangs with no problem at all. So that was with that. I was like, sold, bought another set. So, but I did find them. I didn't have to go all 22 days without them. Thank goodness.
Right, that could have been rough. I know for us, we use the hooks and that's usually what we do on embarkation day too. Is we start pulling out all those, like once we're on the ship, and they say don't go to your room till 1:30. I go ahead and go drop off our bags, but don't say Embarkation Nation told you to do that. Just follow the rules. But I don't follow the rules. I go and drop off our stuff. We just go in the room, put it in the thing, and leave. But it's not our like my backpack with our passports and stuff. But I drop off our sodas and the wine and the things that they got. Okay, cool. But yeah, so we do that, and then once we were like officially in the room and like, hey, go to your rooms. 1:30's happened, whatever. Unless you have faster of the fun, which I was going to touch on in a second. That's the first thing we do is get those magnet hooks out, and I'm like, all right, Andrew, throw your hat up there. Chloe, what do you want to hang up? Because she's, if we're hanging things up, she wants to hang things up too. So yeah, we bust those up.
Tickets and stuff too, the excursion tickets. I'll put a hook dedicated to those so that we know, I've done them by days also, 2 tickets here, 2 here and here. And I think last time we were able to stick them all up there with just the one, but that way they're not on the desk. They don't accidentally get knocked in the trash. They're up over my head. So, I have to reach to get to them and do that. And our lanyards and stuff. That's the first thing. We have those up there.
For our excursion tickets, I have a really good, it's like a magnet you would use like on your refrigerator, but it's a little more powerful than like maybe your chip clip type magnets on the refrigerator. I've got one that almost like you would stick to like a side of a filing cabinet type thing. And I use that, and that's what I put our tickets on. And then I put them like right above the phone type thing. So I know where they're at, they're not going to get knocked off, but not fall in the trash can or underneath something. They're right there. They fall to the table type thing. But yeah, those are the things I like. I definitely. And V, I'll send you some pictures of what I'll send you some pictures of what we use if you want ideas. Hello, hope you're doing well. Welcome in, Superman.
I'd like to touch back on the dropping off your luggage, especially for new cruisers. If you do go drop your luggage off, they tell you that your room's not ready till 1:30, so you're not supposed to go there. But in the event that you do, just go in there and drop your stuff off, put it in the closet, get it out of the way. Your luggage, don't unpack it. Don't sit there and try to mess with it at all. Just put it in the room and leave, because the cabin stewards and stuff are trying to get your room ready. Right. And my understanding is that they're not allowed to go in the room as long as you're there. So if you're standing there unpacking, putting stuff away, they can't get into your room and get it ready like they're supposed to. So just put your luggage in there, throw it in the closet, throw the suitcase in the closet, shut the door and leave.
That's what we do. It just so we get those sodas and wine dropped off. I mean, again, I keep my backpack on me. It's just a backpack. It, that's not a big deal, but just some of that extra stuff, like I said, especially the sodas, because carrying those around or having to guard them, you have to like hang out at a table. I saw Sherry was doing this, they didn't go to their room yet, so they kind of were hanging out at the table because they didn't want to carry their stuff around everywhere. So we just real quick, and it's not all 3 of us that goes to the room either. I usually just send Andrew, because if we take Chloe, it's going to be an ordeal. So me and Chloe go find the pizza or the ice cream or something, and then Andrew goes and does it. So that's what we do. Bam Manola, I hope you're doing well.
Hello.
I said that like roll. Bam Manola. Hope you're doing well, Billy. Hope you're feeling better. Armstrong's talking about how amazing his trip was, and it was the best time ever. Scott McNeil, also on the greatest cruise of all time. I hope you're doing well. I still need to see where you got your beard braided. I want to see that. And Will G is going to be celebrating extra on his next cruise. I think we're caught up. Will G, I can't wait to hear your take on the, because I know we've been all talking about the Jubilee a lot, but I can't wait till like y'all go in January and stuff to hear y'all's thoughts on it, because I know those first 2 sailings are going to be them figuring it out and adding whatever's not fixed, or just those little. I know there's going to be some things that aren't there yet, but I can't wait to hear y'all's experience either. I think I'm caught up with chat, but if I missed your question or comment, please let me know. So yeah, so we get checked in. Used to, a Carnival would give you like your sail and sign card when you checked in at the terminal. Now they'll leave them at your room. So, when you get onto the ship and, the first thing you do, so you've checked in, they'll take your picture, verify all your documents. You'll pass by. I know last time we passed by, they check your sodas, your alcohol, make sure you're not sneaking anything on. They'll also have like a border patrol or port, there with the drug sniffing dogs. They just want to make sure that you're not bringing anything on. And then you kind of go to like a seating area, and then if you're faster to the fun, if you paid for that extra, you'll go after like it's like suites, diamond, platinum. Actually, I think it's diamond, platinum, suites, whatever the order is, and then you're after that group. So if you paid for that, you'll go into like a separate area. And then if not, they're going to have boarding. When you've checked in 14 or 16 days out, you're going to get assigned like a boarding area. So you're going to be like A1, A5, B7, whatever letter number combo you are. You'll just kind of wait in this holding area until they call your area. Now, later in the day, like if you're coming at like 1 or 2, you're probably going to just, if your check-in time's at that time, you're probably just going to zip through and get right on the ship. You're not going to have to sit there and wait. But if you're there at like 10:30, when they're still kind of switching things around, you're going to probably have to sit a little bit. Also, on embarkation day, like you got to think about, they've got to get everybody off the ship, do their stuff, and then get everybody on. We've had it in Galveston where we've been delayed getting off the ship 30 minutes or whatever. And then also getting on the ship, we may have been delayed, a little bit. Just, you're about to start vacation. Just be flexible on it. And then if you're debarcating and they've kind of delayed you, just think you got that extra 30 minutes of vacation. It's okay. It's going to be okay. I saw Rob is here. Hey, Rob, you have been like the life of the party. I have seen on this booze cruise. I have seen you everywhere. And it's cool. I just wanted to tell you, it's been great to see your personality really out there and stuff in these vlogs. I can't wait to watch when everybody drops their videos. But I've just seen you everywhere, and you've been filming. I watched the costume contest and everything on your channel, so that was awesome. Good job. Thanks for the info. I always watch for info since I consider myself still a new cruiser, because one cruise does not make me an expert. Hey, you know what? Things change. 10 cruises. I mean, the pattern and stuff, but things change, and how it was, 10 years ago is not always how it is today, especially when there's new terminals and stuff. So I always just suggest, following your cruise ship's guidelines and what they're going to tell you what to do and direct you. They don't want to ruin your vacation, but definitely, like little tips and tricks, you can always reach out to any of us. And if you ever have any question, you can always just find me or Tony. We have Facebook pages for our channels, Warm Strong Adventures, so just reach out and ask us. We're definitely here to help.
Yeah, especially when you start cruising out of different ports. Each port is going to be a little bit different. So just because they do it this way at Galveston, they do it completely different at Miami, and then they also do it completely different from Galveston and Miami out of Seattle.
Yeah.
So that's why it's best to listen and do what they say over the loudspeaker. But that's.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I saw one of the vloggers, mention that whatever cruise they were getting on this past week, that, people didn't seem to have their stuff together and it was disorganized. They were telling people to go one way and they were really supposed to go another. It's just like any job, communication doesn't always travel downward. Sometimes the boss got told, but, communication just hasn't gone to the other staff members yet. Just be patient. I know it can be frustrating, especially if you have to walk a mile, but just know it wasn't intentional. Like, they're not trying to ruin your vacation. Now, you do occasionally have your one person who's going to be, You know, like I was talking last week about the one who wanted Chloe to hold her boarding pass, and I'm like, she's 2 or 3, like that's gonna be in the floor. But you're gonna have those who are just like, this is the rules, and but just you just laugh it off and go, okay, and just go on. I will say, since that experience, I now print more than one of Chloe's boarding pass just in case there's that person. But you learn with each experience. Like I said, that was like our second cruise, and I was like, are you kidding me? But okay. But yeah, I won't go on that again this week. Greatest cruise of all time, December 23rd. Bill. Bill, just when I thought we were like best friends, you had to go and say something like that.
Isn't that the one where they're going to find all the broken things and the things that aren't working and have them worked out by the time we get on?
Oh, yeah. Bill's the tester, you know. Bill's just going to make sure the casino works well for. Well, I'm not going to the casino.
He's going to load it up so we'll have better chance of winning.
Yeah, let us know which ones are chiming on yours.
Yeah, Bill, we're going to need a report on which slot machines are paying out on your cruise.
Well, no, just the ones he played that didn't pay out, so we'll know which ones to go to.
What
Well,
to stay away from.
I'm gonna try to avoid the casino with the try in there, but
you know we're gonna meet in there at noon every day.
No.
Between breakfast and lunch, brunch and lunch, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Work up our hunger.
I don't know that I'm gonna have the casino budget for Jubilee because it's right after Christmas, and Santa's got to come. And I asked several times last night if it was okay if Santa brought a cruise, and no, we want some Paw Patrol, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, are you sure? Sure you don't want Santa to bring you a cruise like the next week? And then so you got that, and then Chloe's birthday's in January, and we're gonna have family flying in from Boston, and we're gonna have a birthday party. So now so Jubilee's casino budget, I may have to not be in there. Will you go live from the ship when you leave? And I think Andrew's planning on it. It leaves for sail away. You know what? I'm going to say probably yes. We bought the premium internet package, and I've seen like Sherry's, like on the Celebration, her internet was good. So I'm going to assume it's going to be the same. I'm going to watch Bill closely the week of Christmas to see how his lives do. But I feel like we will probably go live. I don't know. Lisa and Tony, will y'all? I'm sure you will with us at least once.
Probably like when we do the run. Yeah.
Yeah, at least once or so.
At least once or twice.
Yeah, I know we plan on it. Rob, did you find my papers on this booze cruise? Let's see. I feel like I'm a little behind in chat. I'm so sorry, guys. No tester here. Bill. Some people, yeah. Common sense is not so common. That's why we watch all your videos on Embarkation Day. Exactly. And I'm going to be interested to see, like,
that's true.
Like, since it's Christmas on Jubilee, Bill's sailing, are they going to still have the Christmas tree up? Are we going to be like the second ones to see the Christmas tree on the Jubilee? Or are they just going to have it ready for, the party that it's going to be on the New Year's cruise? Because and Bill, I have seen Naughty this booze cruise, and he's on ours. I'm thinking it's going to be an exciting cruise because he also seems like he's bringing the party, him and Scott McNeil. So I don't think you have that on your tester cruise, my friend. Bill's laughing. Casino is yeah.
Kendall's awesome. Maybe she'll have everything worked out before we all get on.
Maybe. I'm excited to sail with her. I am. I've been following her. I was loving it when she was in her Rangers gear with her family, and I love that she's from near Fort Worth, and I'm excited to see what she brings. I did see Luis Claire, who we had on the Vista. He's going to be on the Celebration, which I thought was interesting. an interesting move after Lee. He's going to fill in while Lee's on vacation. But Paw Patrol, yeah, that's what I was trying to tell her. I'm like, can Sky and Everest go on a cruise too? Although I'm going to take I'm going to tell a personal story. So today I was scrolling through TikTok and I was watching this video of the Grinch coming in and stealing the Christmas, like these kids. It was like a prank. A parent, the kids wouldn't be good, so they had somebody dress up as a Grinch, like bust into the house, steal the Christmas presents, and like these kids were like crying, and Chloe was apparently watching. She was like oh, like had this face, and I was like, yeah, Chloe, that's why you've got to be good, because if you're not good, like Santa won't come, but also the Grinch may take your Christmas presents. She was like, she was just traumatized. I was like, okay. But I told Andrew, I'm like, hey, I got something better than Elf on the Shelf. We're just going to say we're going to make a call the Grinch. I don't want to scare her too bad, but I'm like, because how many times can you say, like, be good, Santa's watching? And she's like, yeah, okay. Yep, Naughty Cruiser will bring the party. I'm telling you, Bill, you should have booked our cruise. I wish it wasn't as expensive.
We still have rooms available. I was looking today.
Yeah, they still got rooms available, Bill, if you want to do it back-to-back.
Or should say they do again, because, 90 days.
And Carnival sent me, I sent it to Lisa and Tony. They sent me another upgrade offer today for our room, like an extended balcony. Of course, they wanted like $285. But
I told you we'd pay the $285 and we'll take that, and you can have our room.
Yeah, Andrew may not be happy if I make that deal. Like, oh, by the way, we're going from that to the interior. He may be a little disappointed. Although, does Chloe stay with y'all for a week? Because I could get some leverage. Chloe comes with the room.
I mean, yeah, I can drop her off at the daycare for you.
Yeah. Hello, H. Simon, 1981. I hope you're doing good. I guess it's daytime for you in Australia, but I hope you're doing good. He was great. Yeah, he was good. He was good. He was a little different than what we, but he was good. He was very friendly. Grinch, low-key sweetheart. Exactly. I tried explaining that to her, but she just had this face. I was like, sorry. That's why you shouldn't be. I mean, I don't normally watch scary things. I didn't think that was going to be traumatizing, but I guess if, the Grinch is taking presents, it could be traumatizing if you're 3.
Well, did she remember him from last year? Didn't she go see him last year?
She's seen him every year. Last year, she went and had breakfast. I dressed her up as the Grinch. I even showed her the picture. I'm like, you were dressed up as the Grinch last year, and you had breakfast with him. For the past few days, the ship has been rocking. It might be because we are. Hey, I've been there. It's like, is this me or the boat or the ship boozing on this? Yeah, it looked like it, Rob. It looked like you. I don't know if you had the drink package, but it looked like you did. Yes, afternoon here. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. Yeah, Chloe comes with the room. Yes. Good night, Sherry. I hope you have an awesome night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll probably send you some pictures from Disney on Ice too. Parenting is hard when. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Parenting. Watch Nightmare Before Christmas. She might love it. Maybe. I haven't let her watch that yet. My brother is a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan, so she may have seen it there, but I haven't watched it with her.
She has it. She will.
Yeah, she will before it's over. Where do you buy your ducks to hide on the cruise? So I buy the 100-pack off Amazon. It's like around $40 if you purchase them like on like Black Friday, or if you have like a holiday sale or anything like that. If you're Amazon, I know you're in Canada, so if you have like holiday sales through your Amazon there, if you have Amazon, that's where I've gotten them, and I've gotten them pretty reasonable. 100 ducks for $40. If you want the special ducks, like if they're doing something, or like I think Lisa and Tony have some that are sharks. Yeah, a little. You can get them off different things, but
Yeah, we got ours at Oriental Trading.
that's the company I was trying to think of. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've ordered them off there too. Yeah, Chloe got into my duck stash. So I was saving some from the May cruise. I kind of split it in half and didn't use all. So I had, and I kept wondering, like, I kept seeing ducks and like in the bathtub, like, and then my mom like had her at her play table over the summer. I kept seeing more ducks, and I'm like, where are these ducks coming from? Never even thought about she had gotten into my cruise stash. It didn't click until I saw the open bag and like half the stash gone. I'm like, that's where I thought Mima was just buying ducks. I was like, why do you keep buying her ducks? Like, yeah.
We're gonna have shark ducks, so watch for the shark ducks.
Yes, yes.
I'll have one around here.
Somebody on the Vista gave her frogs, like they were not rubber ducks, but frogs, and a pink cow, and it was the coolest thing. Maybe it was pink and purple. Anyways, it was the coolest thing. I thought about not getting the ducks and just getting like random, but I didn't know they're supposed to be from, for kids. I guess they started out for kids, but I think the adults and the crew members have just as much fun. I know I do.
Yeah, I know the crew member saw us with some. I had actually found 3 on the Luminosa. It's like my first ever out of 11 cruises. That was my 12th cruise. And we found 3 of them, and we were walking around with them, and he was like, "Oh, ducks!" And so we gave him one, and he just had the biggest smile. He's going to take it home to his kid. So
we usually give ducks to the crew members as well. I like to put them in obvious places. Andrew likes to make it a little harder, make people work for their duck. I like to, right there on the stair, right there in the elevator. I make it easy. But Andrew likes to make it a little challenging. On Deck with CB buys theirs on Amazon. Started getting the duck keychain. Yes, so they've been bedazzling them, and they look so cool. They're like diva ducks. I love it. Like they're super cool. And then too, I looked at there's this lady who does the 3D printed towel animals. Lisa, I think I sent you one. And then she does these really cool ducks as well. And I thought about ordering some of them, but I thought about ordering them, and I thought, I could just go on Amazon and then maybe have a non-casino budget.
I saw Five Below has like the Big Daddy duck. He's like this big. And I may have to stop and get one of them for, the greatest cruise, have the biggest duck.
Yes. I think Dollar Tree or somewhere also has like the big sparkly ducks, like the purple and blue. And I have to ask my mom where she gets them. But yeah, they got some of them too. I know we derailed off of Embarkation talk, but do y'all hide ducks on Embarkation Day?
We just kind of whenever. Usually, if I find them, I don't really bring them home. We'll rehome them, and leave the tag on for the person who left them. So we'll post, hey, we found this, and then we re-hit it. Last year, or on the Luminosa, there was a couple sitting on a love seat talking, and I looked at Tony and went right there, and the man just kind of looked at us, and he's like, "What?" And he leans over and he sees it was on the table right beside the guy's elbow. Now, he didn't act like he planted it. It was like, "What are you doing?" But that was my 3rd duck, so I was excited about that.
Aww.
But now I don't, he's found one on top of the elevator. They had the pictures by the elevator be stuck up there, things I can't even see, much less reach.
Right.
And there was one on the railing as you walking down the hall near the cabins. There was one up on the rail up there. So always look high too.
Yes, and like if you're on like the Vista series or stuff, they got those palm trees like in the dining area or in the bar area. I saw a lot of people hiding them there too, or people like shaking the leaves to see if one would fall. So
we found one there between the the booths in the dining room, and I said, "Hey, there's one," and we saw the lady hiding it. And before she got good and out of there, and we could get over there, or he could get over there, one of the staff members was over there, and I was like, all right, they can take it to their child because I'm just going to rehide it anyway. So,
On the,
but I found it first.
you found it.
I found it. I just need to pick it up.
On the Dream, I hit a couple, like, like right there in the Dream by the cafe, you got like that TV screen that kind of shows where the ship is, like shows the map and like where the ship is and like all the ports, and then and I hid like a couple there, and I hid just different ones, and the crew members took them all like within like a minute or two. I was like, oh, because sometimes I like to hide them and then kind of sit and like while I'm drinking coffee or something, watch who finds it. That to me is sometimes like the joy of it. It's like seeing who finds it and how, seeing them be happy about it. And so I do that, but I do put like about 5 or 6 in my backpack, and I will kind of hide them on embarkation day to kind of get it started. Cause I hide between 5 and 10 a day, depending on with our Embarkation Nation channel and stuff. And the thing is I have to hide them when I'm not with Chloe because she thinks it's hers. And so, like in the mornings when Andrew goes up to get breakfast or to do an intro or something for the day, I have him take like 5 to 10 ducks with him. And I'm like, go hide these, like, please get them out of the room. And then, I have to do it while she's asleep, because if she sees the ducks, she's like, oh no. And then throughout the week, she's like, if you find a duck from us, it's probably, I try to not let her play with them, but she might have, stuck him around the room. But I try really hard. And then I saw on the last cruise too, somebody had glued magnets to the back of them and was like sticking them to different things too on the side, like the elevators or.
Oh,
and that was kind of cool too, because like I have a couple on my refrigerator now. Hand washing station, yeah. I put them on like the fire, like on top of the, like the life rafts. I don't know, just wherever I can find them. Hey, Ninja Brown. So once you're, once your boarding number's called, you're on the ship. To me, I mean, depending on what time of the day is, you're supposed to go to muster station first. It's quick. Take your paper boarding pass if you're a Carnival, or however Royal or whichever cruise line you're on. Just go ahead and knock that out first. I will admit, sometimes we go ahead and sneak up and go get Blue Iguana and guys, especially if we've got like a 10 or 10:30 boarding time, to beat the line. And then while the line is forming, we go ahead and go down to muster. But we're not waiting till 3:00 to do it. Like it's usually we've gone to eat and we're still down there by 11:30 to do our muster drill. But again, just make sure that's a priority.
Yeah, especially for the new crew, new people that haven't cruised before, they won't leave the dock without you going to muster, and they
They
you can actually. So make sure you get that done before they start
calling you to come to customer service.
Yes, and our first sailing right after the restart, they would call your name over the intercom. They were like a name at like 50 names, and I'm like, you don't want to be on that list, because then if I'm sitting beside you in the bar or casino and I see that they called John Smith in the muster drill, then I'm like, oh, are you the guy who didn't? Are you the guy who didn't muster? And
they will cut off your card too.
Yes.
At some point, so that you can't buy any more liquor or do anything until you go to muster. So we've just kind of made it a habit the last 3 or 4. When we get on, we walk through, we say hello to everybody. Where's our muster station? We go do it, and then from there, then we go on up to
Lido.
Yeah, that was Gasburger. So I will grab a table, fold my carry-on suitcase up there, block a chair for him while he goes and waits in the line, and while he's getting the burgers, I'm ordering the drinks. We've mustered, we can have our drinks.
Right. Bill had to call me out. Do you follow any of the rules,
No,
Jennifer?
No, she doesn't.
I like to live in the gray area, Bill. Like
way in the gray area. No, she's good.
I mean, I make sure it's done in time. I mean, do I maybe go to the room not before 1:30? Maybe. Do I maybe
Go
go
ahead
get
and
a
say
burger
you've
before
never held up the cruise for everyone by
Yeah,
not
I've
going to
never
work.
been that person. Bill, when we sail together, I'm not going to be the person that's holding us up. I promise you that. And I'm not going to be late to dinner and show times. At least I don't think I am. But I try to follow the rules. I just feel like sometimes rules are rules. But sometimes I like to live in the gray area.
Didn't you used to work with a guy who said rules were made to be broken?
Yep.
And that's what she does.
My boss says the same thing to me. He actually said
You don't
something.
break them, you just bend them very far. See how flexible they are.
It's a true story. My boss is kind of giving me. Lisa and I were talking earlier this week, and we were talking about policies and procedures, and she was like, she mentioned to me, she's like, you might as well just kind of look at your policy and procedures manual, because sometimes I like to live in the gray area at work, and I don't do anything to get in trouble, but sometimes I like to just kind of question things. And anyways, my boss was kind of like, I may have you start working on some of our SOPs and policies and procedures.
But see, if you write them, then you can write them bent.
Yeah. Well, and I think outside of the lines, right? So I should be able to write them to make sure we follow and such. I would be like, so Andrew and Tony are very by the book.
Yes.
Tony, I'm going to call you out like that.
Okay,
Tony and
that's
Andrew are
fine.
very by the book, and
Policy guys.
Andrew will say like blah 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 rule blah 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 and whatever manual blah 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 blah, and I'm like, you took time to memorize? I just looked it up to make sure I was in the guidelines.
Yeah,
Anyways.
Tony's like, policy 148, paragraph
Hi,
B on page 64 says, and I'm just like, dude.
That way, if you're ever asked, well, where'd you get that from? Well, this is where I got it from.
No.
Right.
Not just somebody said somewhere.
Section 6, 103.
That's how Andrew is. That's how Andrew. I'm like a little more in the. Anyways, but I do follow the rules, Bill. Sorta. I beat to my own drum. I sat one night in NDR by myself and finished in 35 minutes. Got there at 8:30, done it at 9:05, and made it to the Love and Marriage show. Bill. Scott says I was napping. Do y'all take a nap on Embarkation Day?
Yep.
I mean, one day we got on, we mustered. Did we even get a guy's burger? We went and laid down and woke up after dinner, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and we missed the entire day. So I try not to. He will, but I'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to the deck party. I'm gonna go do something and let him sleep, because I've done that once, and I don't want to do that again. I mean, that's vacation. I don't want to sleep it away.
It really depends on what kind of trip we had to go through to get there.
Wasn't that Miami, and it was a disaster?
That's the one that was the disaster. We had to change airports at the last minute thanks to the airline canceling our flight.
It was all me.
We flew from Oklahoma City to, first we missed the plane that we were supposed to get on, and so they put us on standby and then sent us to DFW, which had canceled their flights, one or two flights to Miami, which is where we were supposed to go. So why they sent us there, knowing that they had canceled two flights, is beyond me, because we get there and so there's no way that we're going to get out of there till the next day. So we end up making reservations on Southwest at a different airport, have to get transported to the other airport to fly out to Fort Lauderdale, but yet all our luggage went to Miami.
Yeah, the airline said you can't fly. The luggage won't make it on the flight, and you can't fly without your luggage. Our luggage flew without us, though.
Yeah, so we had to get a car. We had to rent a car to go from
Fort
Fort Lauderdale to Miami so we could get our luggage to go check into the hotel. And then, I mean, it was.
But luckily you came in the day before, right?
Yes.
Yep, and that's why we do it now. We will say, though, that when we got there, it was like 30 minutes before our board time. And they're like, come on through. And we had the facial recognition. We're like, well, it's not our board time. Yeah, fine. You're good. Go on. And we literally walked in the terminal, walked through, and right onto the ship. And we were just like, I think our board time was like 11 or 11:30. And at 10:30, we were sitting at Guy's Burger. So something did go right at that point. And it got better after that. But yeah, getting there, and then he fell asleep and missed the whole day.
Of course, coming home was a totally different story because we had booked on American Airlines to go there and back. Well, we go to check in on American Airlines, and they couldn't check us in because they still showed us in Dallas. And they said, well, you had, according to our records, you never got on the, you're still waiting in Dallas to get a flight here.
Because they were all overbooked.
And that was a week ago. We're still supposedly waiting, and we're still sitting in DFW. So they had to cancel those tickets and reissue them. But we made it home. But that whole airport experience going to and from was a nightmare.
Let's just say every cruise has been a definite learning experience for us.
That's true. I mean, you never know. And we've been pretty fortunate the last few cruises. I would say, I mean, it's been a while. It's been since Alaska, probably since we've flown to a cruise. So that was in 2012. So for 11 years, we've just kind of gone out of Galveston. And so I've got my heavy room bag, and Andrew's already told me, like, you better find some other home for that, because it's not going with us on NCL. Like, we're not doing all these bags. We're not doing these heavy bags. We got to catch a flight. So it's going to be interesting for us catching a flight. We haven't had to do that. We've been pretty blessed to be able to drive to Galveston in a couple hours. Or even when we went out of New Orleans a couple times, we drove. So it's going to be interesting for the flight. We're doing the same thing for that trip where we're flying into Fort Lauderdale, but our hotel is by Miami Airport. So, but I know my friend Sherry is going to have, tips and tricks. I know Scott from Controversial Cruising also has talked about the Bright Line and stuff. So we're doing our research, even though it's not until March. We're doing our research because it'll be fine.
Biggest tip I had for you is do not rent a car at the Fort Lauderdale airport and drop it off at Miami Airport. Biggest tip, don't do that.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I ain't driving to Miami.
Uber will probably be cheaper to go that distance. I'm just saying.
I will Uber before I rent a car. Like, I'm not driving in Miami. No, thank you. I'm going to leave that to the professionals.
I mean, it was like Dallas.
What? Anymore? I mean, I've driven in Houston and stuff, but anymore, I don't really, especially since I went remote work, like what, 3.5 years ago. I don't even sometimes driving to the grocery store now stresses me out. I'm like, you people need to move and drive. What do you do? So Chloe, I was behind somebody who was not driving correctly, and Chloe was like, come on, man.
I wonder where she got that from.
It could be any of us. I think it was me. But because Andrew probably didn't say it so nicely.
Yeah.
But I was laughing my head off. She was, come on, man. I know, right, Chloe? Anyways, but yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to drive Miami. Houston, but I don't like driving at night anymore either. Like, especially, and I think it's here because we have that sea fog that comes in, so it's kind of like misty fog, and you get that like in Galveston area and stuff too if you're driving in, and I just hate it.
All right.
I would have
I
loved
did.
it. Tony lost his hair.
Mm-hmm. All right. So on the sodas or on the drinks that you can carry on, make sure again on your ports where you're at that you can carry them on. This is something I wanted to verify with Sean last week, and I think I missed it. Was we heard in Australia you cannot carry on sodas or wine. When you carry on drinks from the U.S., they have to be cans. 12 per person is maximum, so a 12 pack. It can be, you take Red Bull, right? And we take Sprite and Diet Coke or whatever. And there is a limit on the wine. It's 1 per person for 21 years of age or older, and no larger than
750 milliliters.
750 milliliters. Yeah. The average wine bottle. Yeah.
Knew that one.
So Chloe can't take a wine bottle on, but she can take on a 12 pack of drink. So that mommy's carrying for her.
Yes.
So for our new cruisers, and we've only done Carnival. We've talked about the sale and sign cards. Just so everybody knows, that is basically your money on the ship. Everything that is attached to either your credit card or a debit card that you have on file with them, or you go in and you put money on the books, basically. So it's your little debit card. So please make sure you keep up with your sign and sell card. We did have on one of the cruises, I think it was out of South Carolina, people were having trouble with the your name and stuff that's on there, your folio number and all that was peeling off, and they had to go back and have the cards remade a couple of times. Keep up with them. Like I said, that's your money. If your kid has one, make sure they know they need to keep it on their person at all times because it's attached to your account. And I believe your picture is also on your sale and sign card. So when they scan it, they should be making sure that it's your card that you're using and not someone else's. But that boarding pass does work until you get to your cabin and you get your sale and sign cards. You don't have to have your boarding pass after that. But I know on one of our last ones, we were sitting there and a couple of preteens had their boarding passes and they just left them laying on the table and took off. And I'm like, as a mother, I'm like, oh, no, put that in your pocket, keep it on you, And I was just like, oh, okay. So I'm sitting there watching, eagle eyes, making sure they're the ones who came back to the table and not somebody else clearing it off or whatever. But, that's your money. Anything that card or that boarding pass is used for before you get your card is going to go on your account and you're responsible for that. So just be careful with that.
I'm about to surprise both of you, but I have lost my sale and sign card on 2 of the 3 cruises I've been on.
No way.
So I will say, if you lose your sale and sign, I lost my whole wallet, like my little neck wallet. Chloe, anyways.
On a cruise or in San Antonio?
I had, hi, thank you, Carnival Security. Ding, ding. We're in Nassau. Lost it. Had my license, had $100 cash, and had my sale and sign card. That's all it had. Didn't have anything else. I had the guy in the golf cart was like driving me. We were retracing our steps. Like he was trying to help me. Andrew's yelling at me like, can't believe you lost your sale and sign card and driver's license. And like,
again,
I was actually stressed. I'm not even gonna lie. I was stressed. I was about to cry. I went to security. Security will ask you like what your room number is. They will match your face. They'll ask you some questions like your birthday and stuff to verify it's you. My mom saw me in a panic and went back with me because Andrew was so mad that he stayed with Chloe. I mean, he was mad. I thought I was gonna come back a single mom. That moment, he was mad. But they let me back on the ship. I went to customer service. They said a crew member had found my. I carry one of those neck wallets, and when Chloe, I guess when I picked her up, she pulled it, and it was like between us and fell, and I didn't notice. Um, I'm not blaming Chloe. It was me, but I'm just saying I think that's what happened when I heard where it was, and customer service had it. They had my license and my sale and sign card, but there was no longer $100 cash in there. That was gone. I'm guessing that was a finder's fee. I was just so grateful to have my license and my sale and sign card back. I didn't even care. I cared, but I wasn't going to go round and round customer service about the $100 missing. I was like, whatever. It could have been whoever found it, whoever turned it in, whatever. I had my license back. That was worth $100 to me at that moment. On this last cruise, I know, guys. I don't follow rules. I mean, I live in the gray area and I lose things continuously.
So are you saying I need to keep up with your wallet while we're off on?
You might. You really. I can't be trusted.
Will I get a bum bag to have it in, or is that
you
not?
You should just go ahead and put me in the stroller too. This cruise, I left it in the slot machine, and I was so upset because I was winning, and the last 3 of my folio number were 777, 777. I was like, that's a sign. That's a sign. Yeah, that's the sale and sign card I left in the slot machine, and it was gone. I think anyways, this customer service reissued me another one. It was a different folio number, though, just in case. So I go through these experiences to tell you. That's why it's important for them to take your picture when you get your sale and sign card and you're checking in. And also to not do what I do and be responsible with your sale and sign card. I'm going to say, don't do what I do. I wish just that again. I went through these experiences to help you. Andrew, I was on this last cruise. I just didn't even tell Andrew I lost the sale and sign card because he was going to be mad. He would have been so, I just didn't even, it's good. Nassau, I really thought he was going to like leave me on the side of he was mad. Jennifer needs her sale and sign tattooed in my wallet and my glasses and my cell phone. I have a bag. I have a purse. I just can't be responsible. I would like to say it's Jennifer, I'm telling you. I would like to say it's since I had Chloe, but I think Lisa and Tony can verify that is also not true. This is just me. I am like all over the place all the time. I'm a hot mess. I promise you. Hey,
I used to work with a lady that had pregnancy brain frequently because she had multiple kids like back to back. But you can't claim that, my dear.
No, I think I had better like remembering when I was pregnant because I think I was a little more I don't know. I'm telling you. On both channels. Thank you so much, Keisha. I appreciate you. Oh my word. Yes, I'm telling you. Jennifer, you're not alone. I lose and forget. See, Keisha, my friend. I'm telling you. Here's a copy of my license.
12 hours away from where you're at or in another country.
Yes. This is why I do not care. You know, I heard some people say they take their passport off. I'm like, oh, no. Not me. I take a photocopy. And even that's
risky with mine. I say this now, I'll be the one to lose everything in New Year's.
I'm telling you, like guys, Andrew, I've seen Andrew, I mean, in the 17 years, I have made him mad more than once. That's just, but he was mad. And because we were supposed to be meeting, so his family were on a Royal Caribbean cruise and they were meeting us at Margaritaville in Nassau. And we were supposed to meet them at a certain time. Well, I spent an hour trying to find my sale and sign card and driver's license because I couldn't even leave the little, like, you know, where the ship parks in Nassau and you've got the walking space and then you go outside the gate, before they did the new port. Well, I couldn't even go past the gates there. Like I didn't have sale and sign card. I didn't have driver's license. I didn't have anything. So luckily I hadn't walked out of that area yet to where I could come back into the ship area. And oh, he was mad. And understandably.
Well, let's see if you next time you go to Nassau. I don't know when you're going again. Where was that? I went the. Oh, it's the big casino and everything there. Anyway, when you come out the casino area in Nassau, there's a little alleyway that goes down into like a little flea market type area, and there was a Starbucks down there. I was not having the best day there, and I wandered down in there. I was kind of looking around, and I was hungry, and I was hot and thirsty, so I got a mango frozen, like a slush. Oh my gosh, that was the best thing ever. I came back here, I went to multiple Starbucks. I'm like, I want a mango slush, and they're like, yeah, we don't have that. If next time you're in Nassau, I'll get you one of those.
Okay.
Good.
Just saying.
Those are really good.
Oh man.
Of course, if I'm going to Starbucks, hello Starbucks. That will not probably be the thing I'm thinking about.
I guess it'd be a smoothie, huh? Not a slush, but
Wow.
Oh man.
Whatever they call it.
He was
mango.
Papa Bear mad. Yeah. Oh yeah. If Chloe wasn't there, he probably would have. He was so mad he couldn't even speak mad. Like he didn't even have time to be like, "Are you blankety blank 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 kidding me?" Like he was just like, "Are you blanking serious?" And I said, "Yes." And he was like, and he was. I mean, like he couldn't even speak. He was so mad. I was just like, "He's gonna leave me here in Nassau." I don't want to. I mean, Freeport was almost the better option at that point. At least there was a Senor Frogs.
Now, wasn't it Nassau? They all got back on the ship without you, and they were worried about your safety.
No, it was Key West.
Oh, that was Key West. Okay.
that was this last cruise, but I didn't even tell Andrew that I lost it in the casino this cruise because he would if he watches this, he'll know. But I just didn't even go there. I used to lock my key. Me too, Keisha. OnStar. I would have to unlock it for me, or I'd call my dad. I used to leave my car. My dad used to get really frustrated with me. Like I would leave the keys in the car. I still do. And I would like kill the battery at wherever I'm at, and he would be like, "How did you leave the keys in the car?" I just got out. I got so excited, I got out and forgot. And he's like, "What? Who does that?" And then like it would be like a couple months later, I'd be like, "Hey, Dad, can you bring like the spare set of keys to me?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "I just don't even want to talk about it right now." He was like, and then he used to get frustrated with my dad would get frustrated with me, and then I think he even told Andrew one day, he's like, "Good luck. Better carry her spare set of keys on you, because Jesus." Yeah, my bad. Yeah, at least the kids are okay. I would wonder. I luckily I haven't done that with Chloe, but I will say because I'm so forgetful, like I have to be very careful, like with the heat here with Chloe. Like I don't drive a whole lot, like because I work remote, but since I've had Chloe, but like I like Lisa's told me to set my purse back there or a shoe or something. I have to like triple double. I mean, I have to make sure she's with me because I don't want to be that person. But because I'm always kind of working on Chloe now, it's usually my cell phone or my glasses or my keys that are lost.
When we first moved up here, was it 3 or 4 times? I'd never locked my keys in the car ever. And we moved up here, and it happened 3 or 4 times in like a month. And then there was, I don't know, we were in the apartment at the time, so it was probably a good 6 months. And we had a van at the time. I opened the door, set my purse and my keys down in the floorboard. Like I tell you, put your purse back there. I set it down there. I'm buckling the youngest one into the car seat, slammed the door, and it was like as soon as I let go of it, I didn't have time to grab it for it locked, and I realized my keys were still inside and my child was locked in there. I had my phone in my pocket. I called him. He came from work across town to unlock her, and thankfully it was like March, So it wasn't cold, it wasn't hot yet. It was comfortable, but just that sinking feeling that I locked my kid in the car and I couldn't get her out, it just terrified me. So from that point on, I keep my keys. I either have like a big key ring or the remote for the car or whatever. I'll shove it down in my pocket and I jingle when I walk like a maintenance guy, because I am not going to lay my keys down anywhere again. Even when I get in, thankfully now my car, if I try to lock it with the door handle, it'll beep if the keys are in there, but they're usually, I make sure they're in my hand. After I locked her in there, it just made me sick. And it's been a good 25 years ago. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It just scared the fool out of me.
Yeah. Andrew's SUV beeps if you leave the keys in there, and it beeps at me. It beeps at me. He'll be like, "Did you leave the keys in there?" I'm like,
"Yeah."
But it lets me know right then, so that's good. They asked. Oh, she said, "Keep your cameras on, Jennifer. You will get a few thousand." Yeah, I don't know if that's what I want to be known for.
I will be. We're gonna go see the monkeys and the sloths and whatever, and yeah, I'll be recording.
That's why I have to carry a backpack and stuff now, because I can't be trusted with carrying it. Do you teach your kids how to unlock the door of the car? I have been very luckily with Chloe. So with my truck, I don't usually lock. Well, I do if we go in the store and stuff, but like I haven't had that issue. But like I haven't had to deal with that. And Andrew's car beeps at me if I leave the keys in there. So we haven't really had. I have taught Chloe how to open the door by herself, which gives my mom a heart attack. But like I've taught her, she's in a car seat still with a 5-point harness and stuff. So I still have to undo the seatbelt and stuff. But, I've taught her how to get out of how to open the door and stuff. Because she's a big girl now. She's almost 4. Every parent's worst nightmare. But I see people who judge like on social media, and I'm like, I can see, you're distracted. You're going to work. It's awful, 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 awful.
Yeah.
But I never want to be that parent, but yeah, it scares me.
Keisha, I practiced on her.
Yeah. Yeah, you practice on the nieces and nephews. So now that we've had like a 10-minute discussion on how irresponsible I am, I'd just like to let you know, if you do lose your sale and sign card or off the port, they will, and you can get through security and stuff, they will, that's why they have your picture. They will verify you are who you are. They'll ask you, memorize your room number and know your birthday or something. And they'll ask you those questions. And then, because they'll verify it. Because your room number is not usually on your sale and sign card. Right? Let me look.
Right. No, it has your folio number, not your room number.
Yeah.
Because I am the worst. That's why I'm like, I have wandered down the wrong side multiple times. And that's why I put the big banner on the door now. So it says Tony and Lisa. I was like, oh, here we are.
Right. Yeah. They don't have your room number.
Not because I had too much to drink. It was just because I can't remember numbers.
Yeah. That's why it's an accident. Exactly. Human. Yes. Hey, Romano Encore, how are you doing? You're not irresponsible. Yeah, I'm just saying it happens. If they do, just go to customer service calmly, not in a
Was
panic.
it luminous? I thought I'd lost mine. Yes, because that's when you got that really good drink, and I went to the cabin and came back, and he was toast. And thankfully, I left it in the cabin, but I knew I put it around my neck. So it was still hanging on my little magnet hook in the cabin. Just walked out without it.
I've done that. Now, yeah, it happens. And then, what else was I going to say about Embarkation Day? Have fun. Like we usually book a steakhouse so we get the free wine and it's usually a little less crowded. You don't have to dress up as nice. There's many benefits or so to that. But we usually book the steakhouse on the first night, so that's something we look forward to. We kind of book it later after the sail away party. We spend some of that time before the sail away party, unpacking our room, getting situated for the week or however long we're on the cruise.
Yeah, if
But
you're new to cruising or new to Carnival, from what I hear, the other cruise lines don't really do the sail away party like Carnival does. It is a full blown extravaganza. There's party, there's dancing. I mean, it's a lot of fun. So if you've not done Carnival or this is your first cruise, definitely make sure you go to that sail away party.
yes, and I know I've been watching, like, I know many have told us that Royal doesn't do a big deal, and I've been watching, like, NCL I know doesn't either. So hopefully this next year we'll have a comparison on that. But I do know that I do know that Carnival is kind of the better with having their cruise director more involved and engaging and having the dance and deck parties. Um, Here's a good question. Oh, there's a couple good things here. Last night,
Oh,
last night
Keisha.
one of the things I locked myself out of the cabin when I was setting my bags out in the hall. Oh my gosh. Oh, Keisha.
bless your heart.
I'm so I haven't done that, but I would have been I'm surprised I haven't done that. But yeah, oh girl. Who let you, like, was it there somebody else in the room where they could let you right back in? Or do you have to go to customer service? But it happens to the best of us. I have locked myself out of the room.
I will call customer service.
At that point, crawl across the balcony and let me in. Never crawl across the balcony, by the way.
Oh, my heart just broke for Keisha. I think I'd rather lose my sail and sign card in Nassau again than that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Oh, girl. Embarkation day, do you stop by the gift shop and see what catches your eye? Yes. On my way to the casino to see which slot catches my eye. Yes, I do. Anymore, like, with us, I feel like we've cruised on Carnival enough. I know that they're going to have a watch sale and they're going to do the, inch of gold sale and 2 for $25 shirt sale. And, I kind of know it. I don't really buy that stuff anymore, but I still like to look.
I always miss the free charm giveaway. They do that every day, so make sure you're,
those little round.
I don't know. I always miss them. I'll get on and look at the hub and be like, oh, that was an hour ago, So do make sure you download the hub if you don't cruise Carnival. That's where everything, they have the papers, but not so much anymore. They don't hand them out of the daily itinerary, but that's all on the hub. And you can go in and set a little heart by it, and it will give you a reminder. But you have to be logged into the hub in order to get those reminders. And, so I'll go through there and just tag stuff. And then I look when it pops up. Yeah, I don't really want to go to that, but I tagged it at one point, but I always miss the giveaways and stuff. So, and then they have in the jewelry store, they'll have, what is it? They'll bring out a new item or something like that, and they'll free champagne. So watch for that too.
Yes, I don't talk a good person. I hit anything that's the free champagne or liquor tasting. Last time it was like cognac and stuff. I like to go to the art too, like the art shows and stuff for the same reason. Yeah. I like to look at art personally. I don't buy it, but I like to look at it and guess the price, or and it's always way over what I would pay. But like I like, and I like to hear their story about, like, Thomas Kincaid always painted, the lights on, and if every one of his paintings, the lights are always on because it was like a warm home and they have a story behind it and stuff. So I like to go and listen to those types of stories about the artist. And then I do like to window shop and stuff. I used to they used to give away too the Effie necklaces and stuff. Like they still do in Cozumel and stuff. I got one for Chloe last time I was there. Actually, I think I might have it right here. Yep. So like in Cozumel, they gave away this Effie necklace thing. It's too big for her right now, but I like to get them for her and put them in her. And this is not her jewelry box, but I was going through cruise stuff. But I like to put them in her jewelry box just for later on if she wants to wear them. I like doing the different things around the ship like that. Keisha said our cabin neighbor called the roomster after seeing me. Well, that was good. You didn't have to go to customer service because my heart was about to like really break. I know that's still not best case scenario, but oh my gosh, my luck, I'd be like on the 12th floor aft and I'd have to go all the way down to floor 3, 4.
Well, I'm thankful too that it was the last night and she didn't have to see him every night when she went back to
Yeah,
the
that's true too. Didn't exchange names or anything. Yes, looking, yeah. My hubby has banned me from the jewelry. Yeah, the cruise jewelry shop. I mean, like when I was first sailing, I would go I would get the perfumes and the colognes and the duty free stuff. Like I still kind of do. I just I mean anymore. I mean, like the Victoria's Secret's bombshell. Just random stuff on my desk, like the Victoria's Secret's bombshell. Like I've gotten a couple of Victoria's Secret, things on the cruise ship and stuff, and just stuff like that. Yeah, I do window shop. Oh, also, I was going to suggest too, if you're a new cruiser, the cruise director and the fun squad and like your jewelry host and the person who does the scavenger hunts. I saw somebody mention that down here too. They'll have a show at the very beginning, either the first night or the morning of the second night, and they'll do like a lot of like raffle tickets. It's per person. You get like a ticket or whatever, and they'll give away free things. It could be like Build-A-Bear, jewelry, excursions, pizza. We got the free pizza on the Vista, which Andrew and Chloe was like clapping. But just different things they give away for that week and then too they'll go over kind of they'll go over each port, kind of what safety briefing on each port, where just kind of talk you through it. It's about, I don't know, what would we say, about 2 hours long, 2 hours long,
an hour.
Yeah, and they'll kind of talk about each port. They'll talk about activities for the week, highlight the big ones, slot tournaments, bingo, those things. And so I if you're a new cruiser, I highly recommend going to that. Andrew and I went this Vista, and we learned, we've been on a bunch of cruises and we still learn things. We thought it was interesting. And two, you get to learn your cruise director a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get to learn any quirks. Like on the Luminosa, we were having it seemed like every time we turned around, because we were crossing the international date line, that's where we found out that their computers, Carnival's computers, couldn't handle having the two at the same day. And so it was throwing a lot of stuff off. Like a lot of people were trying to book their flights. We were supposed to get back on the 4th, but because of their computer glitch or whatever you want to call it, it wasn't showing that we weren't arriving back until the 5th. So they were trying to, their fun to fly or whatever wouldn't book them back until on the 5th, but yet they were coming in on the 4th. But they said once they crossed the international date line, their computers would straighten up, and then they would be able to, it would start showing the right dates and stuff. But until then, everything was a day off.
Yes. Yeah. And that's, I know that was frustrating.
Well, I mean, and that's the little things that you'll learn at those meetings. If there's any quirks that are going on that you need to know about, they'll tell you.
And time change.
Yeah.
Like you said, time change.
I was just thinking, make sure you stay on ship's time, no matter where you're at, what you're doing, stay on ship's time. A lot of times they'll say take an analog watch or something, because when you step off, if you connect to Wi-Fi with your cell phone, it will set to the local time. and you'll miss the ship.
Yes. I will say, like, my phone, they say that, but I know that some cell phones have like your home time and then like it'll set the ship time too. You can have that option, just so you know.
Yeah, I can turn the auto update or whatever off so that it doesn't do that. But I mean, it took 2 or 3 time changes for me to realize, get on there and mess with it and figured out I could do that. But
It does.
you get off in your local time and it's saying it's 8 o'clock and you're supposed to be back on the ship at 7, and it's 9 o'clock ship time. You're okay. If it's 7 o'clock ship time, you've missed it by an hour. So
Also, before you get on the cruise ship, download the Carnival Hub app. Like while you're at the hotel, if you don't want to download it before you leave, while you're at the hotel room, or even if you're sitting there waiting to board the cruise ship, sorry, I would say make sure you download that, because if you're trying to do it, once you're on the ship, I mean, cell phone service, okay, if you're on the Lido deck and you haven't set sail yet. But if you wait anytime after that, you're trying to do anything on the ship's internet, it's not going to download anything with speed. And 2, we always activate our chat feature for our group, but we have encountered the last 2 cruises that it doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
Whatever reason, like my mom doesn't get the messages, which is the person we download it for. She can't figure it out.
Or you get the message that was sent 2-3 days later when.
Yeah. And so we used to rely on, way back in the day, everybody had walkie-talkies and they'd run around the ship. And then they have, now they have these chat features, but I did see last time that they had people back on there with walkie-talkies. I was like, oh, I guess that's coming back.
on that chat feature, if you swipe it closed, it's not going to update. You have to keep it active on your phone in order for it to. Now, if your phone goes to sleep, it still activates. But if you swipe it closed,
It's closed.
It's closed, and you don't get anything. You don't get any of the notifications.
Right. And thank you so much for sharing us out. Hope you have an amazing night. Be safe. It was so great seeing you tonight.
Nice.
I always enjoy when you're in our chat. But yeah, just if you're going to rely on the Carnival app, just make sure it's open. Make sure whoever you're going to be chatting with has it open, and can figure it out. Also, your dining reservations and stuff are sometimes tied to that. So like if you want to go to brunch, I would go ahead and try to get on the list at like 8:30, because it may take you 30 minutes, and don't go down there and wait for 30 or 45 minutes and block the elevators. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Just go ahead, check in your room, finish getting ready, and then head down once your table's ready. Makes life so much easier. You will have a better cruise, I promise, than standing there waiting and standing there.
And some of the ships, you mentioned the elevators. Some of the ships come with the smart elevators now, where you have to, if there's 4 people in your party, you have to hit the up button 4 times. If there's only, that's not just one time and you get on. If there's 4 of you, you're actually supposed to hit the button for every person that's in your party.
Okay. We haven't encountered the smart elevators yet. I know Sherry and then we're talking about the Celebrations elevators being small and narrow and not most friendly. But we'll encounter that, I think, on the Jubilee.
Yeah, if you're on the 4th floor and you're going to go to the 8th, then you hit 8 twice or 3 times if Chloe's with you.
Okay.
It's not like your normal. So
that's cool. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. It's probably going to take an adjustment for us.
Yes.
What else was I thinking on Embarkation? Just be patient. Too. Also, you're gonna when everybody's trying to get on the ship at the same time. They're trying to get luggage, on the ship at the same time. So, not all the elevators are gonna work. When you're going places, it's gonna be, there's a bank of 8. There might be only 3 running. The others are being used for luggage or to get other, things on the ship. Also, too, for individuals with like mobility scooters, wheelchairs, or strollers and stuff. They're, last couple cruises I've been on, they've had a couple of elevators where they've had somebody who's just going from like the third floor to the Lido deck, or to where muster station, like 4 or 5, whatever. They're not stopping at, 7, 8, 10, they're not stopping at those decks, the room floors, I would say. So just know, just pack your patience. And it's embarkation day. It's meant to be fun and exciting. The embarkation day is the best day of the trip because your vacation is starting, and if you've gotten all your documents, you've gotten all your travel arrangements in order, prepared, you've packed, if you forget an item or two, somebody on the ship may have it or the shop may have it. Don't panic. But you're packed, you've followed your checklist, you brought your medications, you have your sodas and your wine, and followed, carried them on with you, getting on the ship, doing your muster. Getting through those things are a challenge for everybody. And trust me, I don't love carrying the sodas and the wine. I don't love, waiting for the elevator and nobody does. But just be patient. It's embarkation day. It's the best day of the cruise because, one, it's the first day. It's the start of your vacation. You haven't, you can make those plans. Do I want to go to the art auction? Do I want to stay in the casino? Do I want to sit at the bar? Do I want to go to the pool? Do I want to just get a guy's burger? All that is new. And I would say just take that time too and get to know the ship. Yeah, each ship has been different. Carnival is kind of similar in a lot of ways. But, there's still going to be times where you're turned around. And I know with us, we haven't experienced NCL or Royal yet, even though we're probably, I would say, seasoned cruisers. So that's going to be a new experience for us as well. And I'm going to follow the same advice. So I would just say make sure that you're patient and just be happy you're on vacation. Like, I see so many people who are angry, and I'm like, why are you angry? It's vacation. You paid a lot of money here.
Keep in mind too for the new cruisers with Carnival. Again, I can't speak for the others, but at least one bank of elevators will be down on embarkation day, and the reason for that is they are loading the luggage onto the ship and getting it brought to the floors, and they will shut down. Generally, it's like midship, I think, is the ones that I've seen. So when you get onto, when you first board the ship, go to the ends. Either go to the front of the ship, go to the back of the ship, use those elevators if you're going to use elevators, just because those in the middle, they're trying to get everything loaded onto the ship and get them to your cabin so that your luggage is there as quickly as possible. And there's nothing more aggravating than to walk up and every one of the elevators has a big red X on it. And you're just like, are you serious? Now I got to walk a quarter of the ship to get there. And it's definitely just remember they're shut down for you on embarkation day to get your stuff to you to make your trip more enjoyable. So you're not stressing over where your stuff is.
Yes.
Definitely pack patience and kindness. Definitely. And that's one of the things we had on here is the lines will move slow, but they're consistent. Just be patient.
Just be patient.
And if you can take the stairs, that would be best, especially because I know there was something on John Heald's page in the last week or so about people with mobility scooters and not being able to get an elevator because people will crowd on and push them out.
Yeah.
Just come on, guys.
If you've watched our channel, you probably have seen Randy from Scrow's Nest. He's talked about it as well. And, just be, and us too, we've experienced it with the stroller. We don't even bring the stroller anymore. I mean, could she use it? Yeah, but it's not worth the stress and hassle it's going to cause with the elevator. So we've actually, I think we did bring it last cruise because we were going to be walking Key West, my mom, and then we're going to be going to Key West and taking her on the hop on, hop off. And I brought it just in case my mom and her friend wanted to take Chloe in the stroller instead of walking or carrying her. And we actually put a luggage tag on it. I took one of those steel cables and ran it through the two. I just put it with our luggage with the porter. And so you can do that if you're traveling with kids, just so you know, if you had to bring their car seat or their stroller and you don't really want to deal with it on like particular embarkation day, but maybe you're going to do a lot of walking at one of the ports. You can do that, just so you know. I've done it. Pack and plays too. Carnival will provide you with stuff too, but if you bring your own pack and play and stuff, they you can tag them as well, like you do your luggage. I was thinking of something else. Oh, Faster the Fun. Faster the Fun, just so you know, if you're a new cruiser or if you're considering it, you do not have to buy it per person. It's per room. So when you see the price of it, it's for the room. And it kind of gives you kind of similar benefits to those platinum and diamond members. Now, there's some people who agree with this and disagree with this. I have used Faster the Fun more than once. I love it. I like knowing that our room is ready when we get on the ship. I like having the priority boarding. It just makes my life a lot easier with Chloe. And just getting her on the ship, dropping our stuff at the room, just getting, if she wants to have a nap, because embarkation day is really exciting and stuff for her too, before 1:30, we have it available if we want to. So that is just something that I would just kind of mention, that if you have a child or somebody who wants to maybe be in the room before 1:30, it might be worth it to do Faster the Fun for you. You do get priority at customer service, and not over a suite or diamond or platinum member, but you do get some priority. And then too, you can get on, like, if there's a like a water shuttle, or like in Belize or Grand Cayman and stuff, where you have to shuttle to the port, you do get priority boarding on that too, just like the other statuses. Again,
and that's only going to the port, not returning.
Yes. Well, actually, I think either they have. I mean, I haven't had to use it when I'm returning, but you're just like a diamond and platinum member.
Yeah, usually on the returning, it's just it's first come, first serve.
Yeah. We haven't really had it. Of course, we don't usually push it to the limit either, where we're the last ones trying to get on the ship, where there's a line either. Right. So,
now, if you did get a suite, you do not need the Faster to the Fun.
No.
That's automatic.
That priority comes with the purchase of the suite. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, some people it's worth it. Some people it's not. I really think it's up to you. Like I said, I'm a couple cruises away from being platinum. I won't buy it. Once you're platinum and up, you don't need it, but you get the same benefits. But like I said, with Chloe, I have purchased it for 2 cruises with her. The first cruise we went on with her, my mom was platinum, so I didn't purchase it because I didn't need to. Had my mom, so I just put anything that I was a little worried about, I just sent to my mom's room, and Chloe was rooming with my mom, so Chloe got to get the benefits of a platinum person. For the Vista, it was just me and Andrew with Chloe, and so we did purchase it because it just made our lives a lot easier. And again, just know it's there. It's per room, not per person.
Yeah.
And again, like your room, like I know some people, I've seen a lot of posts here lately, even with some content creators I chat with on here, talking about how clean the room is when they first walk in. Just know they've got a very quick turnaround time, and they're going to try to do their best and change the sheets, clean everything, do everything. If you had somebody who was sloppy before, you may encounter, like when you open your drawer or something, there might be, something, but just go get your room steward, try to resolve it there. They're usually going to be more than accommodating and fix whatever you say. But I also bring my own Lysol wipes and wipe everything down and just do everything just for I have a 3-year-old, so we sometimes bring germs with us. So we need that. Sometimes we are the one who's brought the daycare germs. So we always bring that kind of stuff, hand sanitizer. I bring, I didn't the last couple cruises, but sometimes I bring the Bath and Body Works pump soap just because I like the smell of it, and two, it's just a little easier than the bar soap that they have. But just you can bring those types of things and set it up on Embarkation Day, just so you know.
For new cruisers, they do have shampoo and body wash. Most people choose to bring their own, but just know, don't panic if you get on the ship. Oh, I forgot to bring my, my Bath and Body Works. So there is some available. So I've used it a few times. It's not horrible. It doesn't smell as foo-foo as what I use, but it got me through the day, through the cruise. So and when we go to Australia, I will not pack anything like that. And there's at the hotel that we're staying at, it's connected to a little mall, and I'll go over there and get everything at that point. And there I'll have the little reusable bag with all the stuff in it, or I'll leave extra room in one of the suitcases or something to pack it in there. So
right, no, and that makes sense. My hair does not do well with the provided shampoo and conditioner. I look like a fuzzy Q-tip, and with the humidity and the waves anyway, the water anyways, I do not need any assistance with that. So I bring my own. But to each their own. I know. Andrew, well, actually, Andrew has to use conditioner too because his hair is so curly. And Chloe, poor girl. I got her mane and tail like detangle spray, and Andrew's like, "Isn't this for horses?" I'm like, "It works." It works. But it made her hair kind of straight, her hair. If you've ever seen pictures of her, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, I'm sure there's one on our page somewhere of her. But she's got very tight ringlets, like Andrew, and I do when my hair's, and they tangle, and she's got kind of a coarse hair, like I said coarse, not horse, but anyways. So I got the mane and tail for her, and Andrew was like, "Did you seriously get like animal detangler for her?" I'm like, "It works." Like, but he put that on her, and her hair kind of straightened out, and like we could see how long her hair actually was, and it was wild to us. And I was like, "Look at this," and I was like, "Look, we have it," because she doesn't like getting her hair brushed because it's curly and it tangles in this humidity here. It just so anyways. But we haven't had any issues with it. Yes, mane and tail. Yes, it's such a good product. If you've got like curly or like thick, Andrew's hair is real like coarse. It's thick, and yeah, she's got that kind of texture. Yeah, the ship's shampoo and body wash are very good. They do smell. I remember I used and brought my own too. Yeah, I have to just I will look. I mean, you'll see my hair. Have y'all ever seen Friends where Monica's hair is like out to here? That would be me. I could, and so I have to tame it down just a bit.
yeah, I have to use conditioner with mine, but the body wash actually dries my skin out real bad. So I have to get something that has some kind of oil or like coconut oil or something like that in it. So
yeah, this spring you can get those Walmart packs that have the good travel size.
Yeah,
those are efficient.
I travel a lot for work, so I have a bunch of the little hotel soaps and stuff too. So
not for long.
Yeah.
But
I have enough to last for a while.
But yeah, I think that's all I have for Embarkation Day. Anybody in chat have anything they would like to add or something they do special? Oh, we do pop a bottle of champagne and order strawberries to, like, when we're doing the sail away. We always have chocolate covered strawberries and pop a bottle of like champagne or wine or something.
I don't think we ordered them on that 22-day trip. We got one set of strawberries. We did not order the second one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I ordered mine. He didn't order his, or vice versa, whatever.
I don't think I ordered them on the Jubilee. I don't think I ordered some for the Jubilee.
Oh, we got that 30-day coming up, so we'll make sure we get them.
Yeah. Some of the things for the newer cruises, like, so we talked about the sail away party. Go to that. You know, if it's your first, second time, or if it's your first time on Carnival, definitely go to that. On every one that I've been on so far, there's been an 80s party, and you can take costume or dress up or whatever. I actually went to the Halloween store on the first and picked up a couple of 80s things, you know, the fluorescent green or orange. There's always a white party, so you can pack, you know, white pants or suit, you know, shirt. I've never done that, and if I go, I'll just wear what I have and not make a special packing for that. But St. Jude's Carnival's really big at working with St. Jude's, and I know right now some of the cruise directors are running a marathon or training for a marathon in Tennessee. I think it is coming up March or April, something like that, this next year. So we've seen Mike Pack. You know, he'll come in, he'll do a little short video. He's just finished up his running and stuff, and the one that we're going to have on the Luminosa when we go on that. He said, you know, if he could raise, and he said a dollar amount, it's like $500 or whatever, he'd shave his legs. And so he had video of that. And I saw one today, he's getting his chest shaved because he'd gotten the next goal. So, you know, they're doing things like that to raise money, but Carnival's real big in helping with St. Jude. So it seems like they have something right when you're getting ready to do your embarkation, you know, you're checking in or something. Seems like there was a few times they had a table set up where you could buy the T-shirts, but for like a $25 donation, you get a T-shirt and a little rubber armband or something. But they have a deck party for that, and that's always good to go to. They have, I think they're back to doing the ice sculptures, and they have trivia games and Broadway shows and military appreciation. We didn't go for the first 3 or 4 cruises, and I made it one day, and I just sat there in tears. It was very simple. It was very, you know, they recognized all of the military and some private sector personnel and stuff.
First responders.
First responders, and you know and then they have a luncheon for the military members and their families. But trivia games, comedy shows, those are all included. If you like bingo, you can, you know, that's an extra purchase. There's specialty coffees, and excursions are obviously not included with Carnival. Anyway, I know some cruise lines do include those, but Carnival does not.
I actually won more at bingo than I have in the casino.
Yeah, he did. So, you know, he grew up playing bingo, and so we'll kind of go play that every once in a while. But, you know, there's, I saw somebody was asking on the longer cruises, is there enough to keep you busy? You know, enough to keep you busy? And I mean, we were on the 22-day, and we stayed busy. We weren't swamped and exhausted, but there was always something to do. The first couple of comedy shows were okay, but then they changed out comedians and stuff, and God, they were hilarious. They were hilarious. So we made it a point to go to those, and they have comedy shows, and then they have adult comedy shows. A lot of language in that, but it's mostly just language, and those were fun. They had, you know, shows that they had learning classes and stuff. So there's always something to do. And if nothing else, you know, when we're going on our next trip, it's going to be in the middle of winter. I'm going to get some sun, because the Caribbean is, you know, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be tan, and I'm going to have that color to me while everybody else is all pale and sickly looking at work because they've lost their color. I'm going to walk in and have this golden glow. I get up there on the top deck and get some sun and, you know, sun and drink, enjoy.
It's pretty wild when, like when we sailed in January on the Vista, we took this very similar itinerary. It's pretty wild when you're in Cozumel and Dallas has got snow and ice, you know, and we're sweating in like 80 degrees in Cozumel in January. It was, can you bring the champagne out to the sail? Well, Emily, I'm just going to tell you, I live in a gray area. Technically, just stay in your room or to dinner. I'm so stressed. I live in the gray area. I
If
bring
you
my
have a
own
cup
cup.
like this, no one checks it.
Yes. Well,
Just
I mean,
saying.
I pop the bottle.
I don't know how they feel about you walking around with the bottle. I don't
really
know
ask.
that.
I
But
don't
Jen
think.
does
I
live in
think
that
it's
grade.
slightly frowned upon. I think it's slightly
Probably
frowned
because
upon.
if nothing
But
else, because it's glass.
yeah,
The
but
champagne bottles.
yeah, but
drink
I bring
beer.
my own like red Solo cups and I clean up afterward too. I don't leave it. They've never said anything to me because I'm not swinging it around like a baseball bat or
Yeah.
doing silly. I mean, usually pop it, yay, sell it. Have our strawberries, pour the red Solo cup type things, and then I take it back to the room. I have put it in the glass. If I was like in this, my mom and my brother smoke. So if we've been in that area where they have like right there, they have like the glass, plastic, aluminum trash can things. I have put the bottle in the glass one before, but we don't make a mess. But that's a gray area. They ask you to
Well,
take it
we
back.
bought a bottle of Fireball one time, and we mixed it up in our portable cups, and we took it wherever we went. We didn't walk around with a glass bottle because that's like we said earlier, you can bring a 12-pack of cans, but no bottles, and no plastic water bottles. You have to get that from them. But if you order the stuff and have it sent to your room, you can put it in your portable cup and take it with you. But
Or you can bring it on the ship if you know how.
I would not recommend that.
I'm not recommending it, and I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just
Oh.
saying it can't be done.
I was
Has
going to
been.
say for you wine drinkers, um, I sometimes get the one with the twist off wine bottle. It's like you can twist it off, or bring at least one wine cork with you because they do like Carnival and I know Royal in them too. They'll charge you like a
Recorking.
$15 or $20 corking fee, and I'm not about that life. So I have broke one on a cruise ship. Lessons learned. I bring 3 with me. Just because I don't bring the most. I will say too, I don't bring the most expensive wine corker with me either, just in case they confiscate it. But so
I was going to ask if that was something that you can get away with bringing on since it has that sharp screw.
Well, I put it in my room bag, and so my wine thing. You know how like the reusable straws are, how they fold inside of each other, and then you've got the thing and it clips. That's how my wine cork thing is. You pull it out, and then you take it's got the corkscrew part, and then you take basically like the lid to it, and you put it through, and that becomes the twisty part. I have broke one time, so I tried to avoid the bottles with the cork, but all the good ones have a good cork. Let's just be honest. So I just bring a couple with me because they will charge you. You're not supposed to take them. I will say you're not supposed to take them out of your room. You're supposed to, or just to dinner or something. But just be responsible. Don't make a mess, and just just tell them that you're sorry if they say something, and go to your room and follow the rules. Most room stewards will help you with a corkscrew. You're correct, and I try. And then what else was I going to say? I got distracted with the wine. So technically,
As part of the wine, it has to be in a carry-on.
Carry on.
You cannot pack it in what you leave with the not the stewards. Words. The tenders of the port. You can't. If it's in there, they will confiscate it. So
no.
Run it through the little deal. They'll make you claim, "Hey, I have it," and then
don't put it. That's why I bring a luggage that I carry on with, and I put it in there.
Yeah.
But I carry it on. They check it, all that. But yeah, it's got to be carry on. They will take it if you put it in your checked luggage. Even if you're like, hey, that was my one, they'll be like, sorry.
Even the sodas.
Yeah, sodas too.
They'll confiscate those too. They have to be carried on.
And then too, if you try to sneak liquor on and stuff, I mean, they're checking for it. They watch TikTok too, just so you know. It may work for some people, it may not, but we're not going to encourage it.
Right, I'm not encouraging it. I'm just saying it can be done. If you read up on the internet and it tells you all how to, it tells you how to get by their stuff.
Yeah, just, but we're not encouraging it. Carnival.
No.
I do not live in that gray area. I'm like,
live in the gray area.
Buy it on ship or I won't have it,
Now, NCL, I was reading NCL will charge us for our wine. Even if we bring it on the ship, they'll charge us $15 per bottle. So I would not be bringing my own on NCL, really? But I bought the drink package for NCL. So those vlogs may be interesting because it'll be with Andrew's family too, and those people can drink. So, yeah. But yeah, NCL will charge you for your bottle of wine and stuff. Or I think Carnival and Royal do not as of right now. For what? Just one per person. I think they said that in Royal Caribbean will allow 2, but then I've also heard that that's updated and changed to 1. So I have not verified that. That was just kind of a discussion we had because I was like, wait a minute, that's 4 bottles of wine for a Royal Caribbean ship. And then we went on a different topic, but I have not verified that. But if you are in the chat, Will G, you may know more than I do on that.
Yeah, and also stopping at ports. I've heard with Carnival that you can pick up another 12-pack and bring it on. I have never asked, done, or verified that, but they let you bring it on when you first embark. But like I said, so like if you're in Cozumel and pick up another 12-pack, I've heard they let you bring it on, but I don't know that for sure. Has anybody heard that?
So I have heard both ways. I've heard some people say they can, and I've heard some people say they can't. Like I've heard that people in Key West got stopped, they wouldn't let them do it. But I've also heard that like Cozumel and stuff you could. So we have not tried it. I think Andrew actually wants to try that this time. But I mean, I'm bringing a 12-pack of Red Bulls, which if you've watched me for any length of time now, you know I probably don't need more than 1 a day. And then they're bad for you. I know. For somebody says that in chat, I know. And then Andrew and Chloe will bring Chloe will not drink all of her soda. Andrew's usually doing 2 and then getting a drink at the casino, and he's usually playing a little bartender. So that's that. Only cruise Carnival. Okay, well, I don't know why I was thinking you've cruised Royal. I know you will on the FR. I know you will with Tropic Like It's Hot, but I thought you had before. I know Europe you can bring liquor. What? Will, gee, that is some breaking news right there.
See, I haven't heard about Europe, but we were told Australia you cannot. So, and we couldn't even do sodas out of Australia. So
that would be
that's
cool.
good to know.
That is good to know. So, this morning I was looking up flights to Amsterdam. I was watching Shanster Travels, and she was flying from Detroit to Amsterdam and into Rome for her cruise. And I was watching, and then Clock Family Adventures and us have talked about going out of Amsterdam to Ireland and Scotland. So I was like, hey, let me look at flights. So when I was looking at flights, I just did Expedia because I was just kind of trying to get a price thing. For me to fly a direct 9.5-hour flight out of Houston was going to cost me $1,600. But for me to fly out of Boston to Amsterdam, which I was thinking would be shorter, was like 29 hours and 15 layovers. That's exaggeration. It's probably like 5 layovers. And then it was like $1,900, and I couldn't find a direct flight. Of course, I didn't dive in too deeply, but I was like, what is this? So I might be reaching out to those of you who have flown to Europe. Because I definitely want to fly in early for that cruise.
Okay, Emily, going out of Florida, I don't know if you'll do the drink packages or not. With Carnival out of Galveston, and I'm sure it's not just Carnival, but that's all we've been on. But out of Galveston and out of New York, if you buy or purchase the Cheers package with the liquor, you cannot. Any drinks you get on Embarkation Day, you will be charged. The drink package does not start until 6 a.m. on the first full day of the cruise.
So day 2.
Huh?
So day 2, technically.
Day 2, yeah. So I was thinking Florida was, but I verified a while ago on Carnival's website. It's New York and Galveston. So just know if you've not had the drink package before and you do get it, you cannot use the drink package until 6 a.m. day 2.
Right.
Out of those 2 ports. Yeah.
Out of those 2 ports. And I don't think they don't charge you for it. I think Gio will verify too. They don't charge you for it. And then my mother-in-law said that they charge you for water and sodas, but I was corrected last time, and they do not if you have the drink package. So just kind of watch what you're being charged for.
On the drink package, though, you have water in your cabin that's not included.
Right. But I'm talking like if you go to the bar.
Well, we thought the water was included since Lisa had the drink package. So it said water anywhere. We figured, okay, room. Your room is anywhere. So we were drinking the water in the room, and we come to find out we started getting charged for it.
Yeah, I had the casino deal is drinks anywhere on the ship.
Yeah.
Apparently, except your cabin.
Right.
So,
and
you get 2 at platinum and maybe at gold too. I can't remember. You get 2 of the large bottles of water, and if you drink the ones in your cabin, they'll replace it once, and then after that, they start charging you for it. So they do dock it on your sign and sale card that you've received that 1 liter bottle or whatever of water, and so if you go to get it anywhere else, it's already done. So.
And Chloe will be gold this cruise, so I guess that means we get 3 of those big bottles of water. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you go to get the water, so like I said, I had the drinks anywhere on the ship. If you go to get the water, they won't give you the big liters. They will in the dining room, but at the bars, you get just the regular 16-ounce bottles, and that's it. So
it's true.
And those are free.
If you have the drink package, yeah. With the different ones, the Cheers, it includes, all spirits and cocktails, beer, wine by the glass up to $20 or lower menu price. Sodas, 0 proof drinks, so like non-alcoholic drinks, frozen cocktails, energy drinks, specialty coffees, and hot tea. And then the 500 milliliter bottled water and other non-alcoholic bottled beverages. That's the Cheers package, and then the bubbles include soda and water. The Cheers, if you want the milkshakes or the specialty, the spiked milkshakes and all that, with the drink package, you have to have the Cheers package. And it is limited to 15 per day.
Yes.
Alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
So you can get 15 alcohol drinks, but you can still get specialty coffee, non-alcoholic, like, the espressos and stuff like that. You can get the water and the sodas and everything else. That's all included in the Cheers package.
And this is for Carnival. Now, yes. I know Kirk one day was telling us that for like MSC, like if you have the drink package, they didn't care if you had 1 or 7, like whatever you want. like
Oh no.
at a time. It wasn't one drink at a time. And I think Royal Caribbean will, NCL will let you get 2 drinks at a time. Um, and I don't think they have a limit as of right now.
Now, if you
So-
just go up and purchase 2 sodas, they'll let you have 2 at a time. But if you have one of the drink packages, it's like, was it 5 minutes a piece or 5 minutes apart, something like that? Because we had gone and gotten barbecue, and then I went out and got each of us a drink, and I just, put it on my sign and sell card, charged it, and they let me get 2 of them. So
I think, and too, I've done that at casino too. I'm gonna be honest, I've ordered Andrew and I one. I think the guy will just kind of ring it one up and then ring the next one up and then bring me the cards. But it's just kind of, like I said, there's sometimes there's little inconsistencies, but that's okay. Roll with it, smile. If it works in your benefit, just roll with it, smile, tip well, all those things. They are working for tips, so I've noticed that, if I start out tipping well in the casino that first night, $5, couple dollars, they are my friends the rest of the cruise. And they'll come see me on the Lido deck and stuff too. So just know that too, that sometimes the staff works multiple ship areas. So sometimes they're in the casino in the afternoon, sometimes they're on the Lido deck during the day. So, just be nice and be friendly and, and you'll have a good cruise, especially you'll have a good embarkation day. I also like to get the rum punch on embarkation day. I have discovered for me, it seems like the ones in the $20 sipper, that's like the whale tail that you can only get on the first day. Those are a little stronger than the ones that they're walking around with on the ship. I will say if you're a first time cruiser and you see them walking around with these nice, rum punches, they are like $13 or 12 something plus gratuities and stuff. They they're not free. They're going to charge you like $13 for them, $12.95 or something plus gratuity. So just so you know,
souvenir cup, it's like $25.
it is. And I don't have it in here. I have to hide that one because Chloe. So I bought some of the zipper clips last time, and Chloe thought they were all for her. And you should have seen the faces I got after I finished my rum punch and rinsed it out in my room, and rinsed it out, dried it, and then put like milk in it. You should have seen the faces I had though when she was walking around with that little sipper cup. I'm like, no, it's not rum punch in there.
Yeah,
I washed it. I also bring Dawn with me in a bottle brush. It's good for like I do bring the Yeti cups and stuff, but also too for like stuff like that where I want to rinse it out for Chloe. I just feel like it's a little safer than just trying to rinse it out with some soap. So that's just me. I guess they don't have limits on Royal Caribbean or Norwegian Cruise Line. The drinks aren't very strong, supposedly. That's supposedly that's what I have understood as well, Will G. I don't know. We're gonna go on NCL for the first time in March, so I'll be able to speak to that, and we'll go on Royal for the first time in September of next year. So I'm hoping to kind of compare. Although we did not get the drink package yet for the Utopia. Andrew and I are debating on whether I think we might. Yes, I have the red one. Oh, you're muted.
Yep, sorry, he got it moved around. Yeah, we have 2 of the red and 2 of the blue, and I obviously I can't take it to work, but I love these Turvis cups. They're the bomb.
They are awesome. Yeah, we have the red one, and they're great. They're great, and they're good for coffee too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so you're good. But yeah, we might get the drink package for the 3-day cruise when we're Bill and Sherry and Clock. I have a feeling after watching everybody on the booze cruise, Andrew and I should get the drink package for that 3-day. I don't know, guys. You tell me in the comments what you think.
Well, if you're gonna keep up.
I don't want like the first leg of the cruise and $1,000 in alcohol. Not that I would have a heart attack, but that would cut into my casino budget.
Yeah.
Jennifer, you and I are the same person. I take Dawn. Yeah, I'm telling you. And too, this Dawn, like, it just, I don't know. It gets the grease off stuff. So like sometimes like when you like have had like sunblock on something like spill, or I like take that Dawn and right up. We're good. I don't know. I saw, I'm kind of loyal to Dawn. Andrew and I were having this discussion the other day. Like, why? He's like, you always buy just Dawn dish soap, and I'm like, well, I saw the duck, and I know it got the grease off the duck. I remember that, and then as a kid, I was loyal to it. I've bought the other brands. I just can't.
I will say I watched a cooking video today, and he's one of the crazy ones that I've shared with you a few times. And he was making something in the air fryer with chicken, and he put Dawn on those chicken legs and said, if it's safe for the duck, it's safe for the chicken. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, please tell me he is not eating that chicken after putting Dawn on there. I just died when I saw that. I thought of that when you started talking about Dawn. It's safe for the duck. I'll just see if I can send it to you. I was just wet.
Yeah, I don't know. Dawn is not a sponsor. It's just a preference.
True.
I have. Just went there. But Dawn, if you want to be a sponsor, I do buy your product. I'm just gonna put a ticker across of like products I like, and just see if like anybody ever notices, like Starbucks, Dawn dish soap,
Fireball. Just say
Blue Cherry rum. Where's the rum? Anyway, wish Bill and Clock were here. I haven't heard either.
I was just, wow.
No. I haven't heard I Digress this week. Yeah, no, not on the, yeah, exactly.
We have definitely
companies. I should, like, you know how like Have Luggage Will Travel does with Little Debbie's? Tortuga rum cakes. I really like the pineapple one. Just so you know. Oh, anyways.
So speaking of Fireball, have you had Fireball in cherries?
Yeah, when you brought it to me for graduation.
Did we do that?
You did.
Definitely worth looking at again.
I'm trying to figure out. I need to get with Sherry because I saw on the non-cruise they were doing all the Jello shots, and I told Andrew I've got the well, I'll buy new, but in my pantry right now I have the cherry limeade Sonic Jello, and I was like, ooh, can make some Jello shots for New Year's of the cherry limeade. This is a gray area. Cherry limeade Jello shots for the room for New Year's. There was a thought.
I mean, it should set up in those little refrigerators, right?
I would think so, especially if you have a medical one.
Ocean water.
Somebody told me if you have a medical one, it sets better, but I won't reveal the source. And I was just thinking too, like that. But I looked at like the bottle. I mean, usually when I make Jello shots, I don't buy the premium liquor. Like, but I was looking at some of the liquor, and it was like $185 for a bottle of Grey Goose, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
So what I might do, I was telling Andrew. Yeah, I'll talk about this offline. And I'll text who I wants to know. Yeah, I don't know how nautical nursing. I don't know how she does it either, but I need to know. Yes, Yeah, tag those brands, Keisha. Yeah, I'm thinking it probably has something to do with like a shampoo bottle, or maybe get the shots in the casino and just like dump it in a tumbler, and then when like a clean tumbler, get the shots in the casino, and then take it back to your room and play mixologist. I don't know how they do it. Because I'm not paying $185 for a bottle of Grey Goose to my room.
No.
No, we made the mistake of paying was it $90 for a bottle of Fireball? Never again.
We drank all of it on a 7-day cruise because we didn't know if we could bring it home.
So used to, I would get like Andrew a bottle of Jameson, and I'd get a bottle of like Bacardi or something. But they were like $65 then. I could justify it. And was it overpaying then? Yeah, but we were in our 20s, probably still a lot cheaper than our bar bill. And we weren't casino. Well, I was a casino person, but we didn't hang out in the casino and have the rewards then. So the $65 bottle to our room for the Jameson was probably a lot cheaper than my casino bar bill would have been. Now I was like, $135, you can keep your Jameson.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't looked at the cost of Fireball, but I just won't buy the bottle of liquors on the ship because they've gone up so much.
Yeah, I understand markup, and I can justify it to a point.
A little.
Yeah, double. But I mean, $185 for like a Grey Goose bottle? No. And like the cognac or whatever was $220.
Gee,
Wow.
well, the one
I go have a really good time.
$19. And that's bigger than what we got on the ship for $90. So
I can go have a really good time at like Mr. Sancho's with the premium.
I'm ready for that. Our friend Sylvia, she was.
I remember Sylvia.
She enjoys it there.
I gotta text her and see how she's doing. We met this. So Lisa and I hosted a cruise. What was that? 2019? Yeah, we were like the admins for the Facebook group.
Yeah,
and we got to know a lot of the people in that Facebook group pretty well for like the year and a half we were admins of it. And there was a friend of ours that we made named Sylvia, and boy, she taught me a whole new definition of partying.
My husband was so reserved and so calm and quiet, but
I'll never forget. I was sitting there talking to her at the Red Frog pub, and I think she was feeling pretty good after coming. It wasn't Mr. Sancho's day, but it was a different day. And she was feeling pretty good. We were sitting there at the Red Frog pub, and I remember this like fight broke out on the Freedom in the hot tub, and like it was the first time I'd ever seen a fight on a cruise ship. And I couldn't pull my phone out. Like I didn't have it. And I was like, dang it. We weren't a vlogger then. It was in 2019, but that's the first time I'd ever seen a fight. And I've always heard about fights on a cruise ship, and that was the first time I'd ever seen one. I've always heard about them and then seen the people like arrested, like, not able to leave their room or being escorted off the ship or something. But I've never seen one. But they were like fighting in the hot tub. I was like, what is going on? Carnival security was quick though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right before the 80s party. They had it all done and over with and settled, right. And they were starting to put out remove the, it was during when they were removing the chairs for the 80s party. We were standing up there at the Red Frog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we didn't come out until it was probably 10 minutes into it at that point.
Edna's World has several shores on Jello. Oh, yeah, Keisha. Yeah, I would like to know more about this topic. Just for gray area conversation in another, live,
We can definitely talk to you about gummy bears too.
Those were good.
I will. I'm going to know if Bill's in the chat. I'm just going to say that.
Later.
Yeah, we made Fireball gummy bears. They were good.
That was on one of our cruises. That was the key word. If you were sneaking alcohol on the ship, again, I don't suggest. Um, but if you were, that was like in our Facebook group. It was like, did anybody bring any gummy bears? I'm looking for this kind of gummy bear.
No, these were actual gummy bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were good. The only thing I didn't like about them was that they just seemed to be.
Maybe it didn't set up completely right.
Yeah,
so.
it could be. They're just kind of. I mean.
Now I will say we did these and had them at home. We did not take them on a cruise, but
Yeah.
we were definitely trying to see how they would turn out. So.
Yeah, and I'm just going to just throw a disclaimer, just if you're in the gray area, Embarkation Nation did not tell you to do these things. That gummy bear, yeah. Everybody's like, I'm looking for cinnamon gummy bears. Boy, that could be taken anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was used to the one with you on the Freedom, Lisa, but that one for the Vista when I was those people were wide. That was a party cruise. It was a 7-day cruise, but they were partiers.
Well, I hear those 3 and 4 days those are the really wild cruises. I was reading something on that a couple of days ago. So you're going to be doing those, getting your 7 days in, but because they are short, you have the college kids jump on there for the weekend, and not that it's just the college kids that party, but
and we're leaving out of Port Canaveral. Oh yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah.
And Bill, Sherry, and Cruise Vet, and all them are gonna be on there. Oh yeah, that'd be that. I think Clock's group cruise is going to be pretty epic. I don't know comparable to the Non or the Booze or some of the others, but I do think that one's going to be pretty epic.
Yeah. I hate that we're going to miss it. We don't have the leave, so.
Yeah, me too.
I could always cancel the 30-day.
Yeah.
That's because that's what's hurting me on my leave. I'm having to burn everything up.
Well, if I'd like one to Japan, we could talk about it, but the boss would probably appreciate that too.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all I have for Embarkation Day. Did anybody in the chat want to add? And y'all have been amazing. Did y'all want to add anything?
Well, just if you have, like you'd said earlier, if you have any questions, concerns, especially if you're new to the cruising, try to find somebody, you probably get the answers online, but, get a hold of any of us and we'll be happy to get you the answer if we can. Because, we want you to enjoy your first cruise, or whether it's your first or you're just a new person to cruising. We want you to enjoy it as much as we have been.
Yeah.
And two,
we unfortunately didn't have anybody to give us any tips, tricks, or anything like that. So we ended up learning some stuff the hard way. And so if we can help somebody not have to go through the process that we did, that would be great too.
And I was going to say that too. We've definitely learned. I mean, I've been cruising for 20 years, and I have definitely learned a lot in that. I have made a lot of mistakes because there was a lot of gaps in between cruises too, and cruising's changed, and then cruising in your teen is different than in your 20s than in your 30s with a small child. So it's all different stages of life, and so I have definitely learned the hard way. and as you could probably tell from tonight, I like to live in gray areas and test some boundaries. So
those gray areas why things are left behind.
do it. I can tell you, yeah, if you follow me for more advice on how to lose your sail and sign card, Jennifer Embarkation Nation. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But yeah, definitely. I mean, we, I, I'm not going to ever claim to know it all. I think there's always somebody who I learn from others on these channels and watching TikTok and experiences and stuff like that. I'm never going to claim to know it all, but I do feel like I've got Embarkation Day down pretty well now. And again, I learn every trip. The thing I need to learn is to pack lighter. And you would think after like 12 cruises I would, but no, I haven't learned yet. I still feel like I'm going to might wear the same 5 outfits all week, at home, but that 30 plus that I took on the cruise ship, I'm going to change 3 times a day and I'm going to take pictures. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. But, just so you know, but I always say just have a good time. Main dining room is not always my favorite on Embarkation Day. I don't always like the choices in there that much. So I always, that's usually why we do the different dining. But I think, too, give the MDR a try. Again, like I said, it's not my favorite on the Embarkation Day. I don't really like the choices that much. Chicken parm's all right, but yeah.
One thing that we didn't know, it took a couple of cruises to find out what is the Italian cappuccino day. I'm not very good at Italian, but yeah, during lunch, if you go there for dinner, it's an additional charge, but you can go there for lunch and it's free. So definitely try to.
And it is good.
It is good. I like the bow tie with the butter, garlic sauce, and zucchini. Yep. And that I just eat until I blow up on that stuff. It is delicious.
There's actually several restaurants we found out that are free during lunch.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That we just assumed that since you had to pay to go there, that you had to pay to go there, whether it was lunch or dinner. And then we found out later, oh, well, no, they're free during lunch. Oh, well.
And it's not posted anywhere. It's not on Carnival's website. When you look on there and it shows the restaurant, it does show, the dollar signs to go there. But during lunch, it's free. So you might check that out too.
Yeah, and the Mongolian walks it's got different names, but those are sometimes, those are free at lunch too. And then there's a really good, on sea days, there's a really good salad bar, usually in the Serenity area. It's good. It's got a lot of options, healthy eating choices.
And if you like pizza, you can go to that salad bar and get your toppings from that salad bar and then take them to the pizza place and say, "Here, can you put this on my pizza?" And they'll put it on there and cook it.
Good night, Will.
Good night, Will. I hope you have a great night. That's what I heard. And Pig and Anchor to me is not that. I mean, it's hit or miss. It's not my favorite, but I'm down here in South Texas.
On the Panorama. I'll just say, both times we were on there, it was good on the Panorama.
Yeah, it's been hit or miss. It's either good or.
It wasn't bad, but that's nothing I'd write home about. I mean, kind of like that sushi or that stuff we had in Hawaii, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I don't know.
Spam rice and seaweed.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good, but I just didn't see what the big hoopla was about.
Right. Well, and then, we got to remember too, there's different cultures, different tastes and stuff too. So, but no, like I said, I'm in South Texas, so I've got a pretty good selection of barbecue here. Pretty fortunate in that aspect, but I will say, Pig and Anchor's hit or miss. But if you, don't get barbecue down the road, 19 different places, it may be the best you've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
But I say still experience it. That is going to be my one advice on a cruise too, is try it. Try the escargot. Try the different things. Just try it. And also don't be so, I hear Bill say this all the time and it's great advice. don't be so on a cruise that you got to do everything and try everything. Just, you're going to be exhausted. There's a
Yeah.
lot to do. Just, do what you can. I wouldn't stress over it. That's the best thing about a cruise. You're not going to run out of food, and, just relax.
Yeah.
Look at your ship beforehand, see what's on there, see what you want to try, and know, okay, I've been to the Pizza Pirate on another ship, so let's try. I'm excited to try Shacks. We've not seen that. Oh, speaking of Shack, I did have a note. When you first get to your cabin, make sure that you locate your life vests. And Shaq has a little video that's on the TV they want you to watch, and it's just talking. It's the safety drill stuff. So I just happened to think of Shaq. I was like, oh yeah, that was in my notes for earlier. But I'm excited to try Shaq's chicken. I bet that's going to be really good. So just kind of be familiar with your ship and what's on there. And the Italian on the last ship we were on was not as good as others that we've been on, and just try it. If you don't like it, there's always tomorrow to try something else.
Yep. Yeah, we're excited about Andrew's real hyped up about the Shaq's chicken. I'm excited for it, but I'm more excited for shebangs, honestly. Shebangs.
Yeah.
Shebang. Oh, wrong song.
I do want to look at some of those that I probably wouldn't normally go to, and I've heard too that some of them that are normally charged won't be for the first year, and so I'm kind of curious to check that out too. To be free for the first year, getting up and going. I don't know.
Good night, Keisha. It has been so fun talking to you tonight.
Thanks for stopping in again.
Yeah. We're about to hop off, actually. I know Tony's got to dive in the morning. We've got time change, and I've got to be up at 5 in the morning. So
does it go forward or backward?
Fall back.
Fall back.
Cool. That means I got another hour sleep.
Get an extra hour.
And then plus we don't have to be there. We don't have to be there until 9. So as opposed to last week, it was 8. We had to be there at 8, but they moved it to 9 o'clock.
You too, Emily. Yeah, I'm actually gonna drop Andrew off at work tomorrow, so I have his car, and then I'm gonna run by Starbucks and probably get some brisket tacos if we're just being honest. And then
oh yum, brisket tacos.
Brisket, potato, and cheese tacos.
Wow.
And then
don't forget the lemon bar at Starbucks.
Right? The cranberry bliss bar is back. I thought of you.
Is it out already?
Yeah, it came out like 2 days ago. Yeah. And then I'm gonna come back and let Chloe kind of do her thing, and then then we'll be headed to go pick up Andrew at lunchtime and go see Disney on Ice.
Cool.
Yeah, we got front row tickets, so
sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited to meet Moana. I wanted Chloe to dress up as Moana, but she didn't want to. She wanted to be Aurora. I'm like, can't you just go with the flow for once, Chloe? Why do you have to live in the gray area?
Again, I wonder where she gets
So, Chloe is Andrew's Minnie, but my personality. It's so frustrating. Anyways.
Well, I've not seen a picture of her hair straightened. I'm curious.
I'll do it on the cruise ship.
Okay.
She'll be so tired at the end of the cruise that I'll probably can get her to sit still to straighten it real good. It's pretty long. I was surprised how long her hair is. Andrew and I were both
little ringlets. Yeah.
Yeah, her hair only looks like it's a couple inches long because of her curls, but yeah, it's probably a good foot long. 10. Yeah.
Angela's wasn't that curly, but yeah, it was when she was little, and you get her hair wet in the bath, and it was down past her shoulder blades, and it was like, what? Where did all this come from?
That's Chloe. Hers is past her shoulder, and you would never know it. I mean, it's just so curly. And she's got that little Superman swirl in the front that just drives me nuts.
It's her grandpa.
Well, all right. I think we've covered Embarkation Day. So next week we're going to talk about like later in the week and then Debarkation Day.
Yep.
So maybe our friends Bill and I know Clock's busy, but maybe Bill will want to
I did see he posted the last night was always sad.
He did. I don't know that he will. He's Bill and Clock and Sherry and them. They've got cruises later this month, so they're all kind of doing a lot of cool things right now. So if make sure you're subscribed to Traveling Czech, Embarkation Nation. But also, a lot of these other channels, they got some cool things going on. Those booze cruise videos are going to be funny. But anyways, y'all have an amazing night. Be safe. Get an extra hour tonight. Thanks for joining us. And
yeah, thanks for
see you again on
thanks
Saturday.
everybody for coming by.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Have
Bye.
a good night.
Have a good evening.
It'd help if I hit the right button. You never know with me, guys. I promise.